Tenakoto, tenakoto, tenakoto katoa, no hiripini aho, ko Ole Stefano, ko Trish aho, kanui te mihi ka akoto. Tenakoto, tenakoto, teno katoa.
Tenakoto, tenakoto, tenakoto katoa, no hiripini ahau, ko Colina Stefano, ko April ahau, kono tue mihiki ata katoa. Tenakoto, tenakoto, tenakoto katoa.
Welcome to Titas of the South Sunday Livestream Edition. So kanina, kung narinig nyo, we greeted everyone and we welcome everyone to our stream in Maori language, Tereo, because it's Maori Language Week. So hopefully we can do a segment about the Maori culture and Tereo language anytime soon. So basically, we just greeted everyone to our stream. Hiripine means the Philippines. Ole Stefano, it means Olis is my family name. Colina for April. And Ko Trish Aho, it means my name is Trish. And Tenakoto, Tenakoto, Tenakoto Katua means it's a greeting and a close greeting everyone and welcoming everybody to our stream. So hi again, guys. I'm your Tita Trish.
And this is me, Tita April. Kia ora!
Kia ora! Welcome to our stream.
Welcome to Titas of the South. So today, kung alam niyo siguro ninyo tungkol saan ang ating topic for today. But before that, we would like to welcome you again. For those who haven't started watching us, you can click on the link in our channel. For those who have not, please subscribe and tune in. So, sharing the guests first that we will feature, we would like to do a roll call. So we would be having also a special appearance today in different countries. So we would be having Oman, United Kingdom, Dubai, UAE, as well as Philippines.
Yes.
Okay, so we would like to also thank our viewers all around the world. So we have one in Canada, Australia, New Zealand,
Kia ora, New Zealand,
as well as in Philippines and Australia, of course, in the US. So hello sa inyo.
Hi. So may nagtatanong agad, sagutin ko lang, Jericho Larita. Yung kaninang greeting namin is a Maori language. So sa mga hindi pa po nakakaalam, update lang din. Kami ay nakatira sa New Zealand. April and me are both OFWs here. We are originally from the Philippines. So Hiripine means Philippines. I just mentioned our first name and our last name. Stefano means family or your group of friends. So Ko Ole Stefano, that means that's my family name. So yun lang. Kung may questions pa kayo, just comment on our live stream. Hindi man namin masagot lahat, but we will try to address everyone as much as we can. So comment, like, and share na kayo, guys.
Right. Initially, I would like to thank you and shout out to Ma'am Angeline Soloso and CEO of one of the promoters of Titas of the South, and also our sponsors. Now, before we start with the overview of our topic today. So the topic today is, should I stay or should I go? My heart this pandemic. So ang mga healthcare workers, we are so proud of you around the world. So we actually based that on this segment. So ang kapatid ni Tita Trish ay also
a nurse,
a registered
so malapit
nurse
sa
in the
puso
Philippines.
ng mga titang, mga nurse, not just Tita April. My sister and her friends from ACE Medical Center in Quezon City is a nurse. So masyado pang mahiyain kung sino-sino pang tinuturo na may interview. But as a sister, I would also be glad to share her experience. Mag-comment ka kung mali na yung sinasabi ko, no?
Okay, without further ado, let's start introducing each of our guests tonight. So we'll start by Dr. Marion Lagmay in the Philippines.
Yes.
So welcome, Marion. I think you're in a mute.
Oh, sorry. Hi, April. Hi, Trish. Hi, everyone.
Hello. Kamusta?
I'm good. How are you?
We're also good here. It's just
Welcome,
getting
welcome
hot.
to our living room.
Welcome to our living room.
Why are you
Ayan.
noticed?
Okay, next to that is, she's from the US and also a registered nurse
Yes.
in Johns Hopkins Hospital.
Pang-international na po tayo,
Pang-international
no?
ang
Hindi
level
lang
na
New Zealand
natin.
ng Philippines to.
Global na.
Oo.
Ano ka ba?
From Johns Hopkins itself. Sa mga hindi po nakakalam, i-google nyo yan.
Okay, let me introduce Erika
And the
from
baby boy.
with her lovely dog.
Uy, na-feature si Erika, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, she was featured in ABS-CBN. Ano nga yung caption nung Erika nung article? Ano yung title? So that they can also research on
We'll
it.
post the link below later.
Hang on, I can't remember. Nurse.
Is it the life, life-changing with
No,
of a nurse during the pandemic?
I can't remember. Let's go back to it in a little bit.
Yeah. So how is it there in the United States? What time is it there?
It's 3 a.m.
Thank you. Thank you for waking up for us.
Yeah,
We really appreciate it.
Nag-submit pa ako ng assignment, medyo na-late ako. So, nagising talaga ako.
It's about Meet a Filipina COVID-19 Frontliner at Johns Hopkins by ABS-CBN News.
Yes.
Okay, so pang-international din ang beauty ni Erika. And Erika and Marion and all of our guests are actually my schoolmates. They're from St. Scholastica's College, Manila. And the last one, R.D. Alvarez, is my schoolmate in Mapua, where I studied my nursing. So, Erika, thank you so much for being with us today. We'll get back to you in a while. So we'll be calling now Samantha Yumang from the United Kingdom.
Oh, yeah. Oy, mate.
Hi, Sam. How are you?
Hello. I'm good,
Kamusta?
thank you.
Teka lang, British accent dapat.
Hello there,
Oh,
mate.
is that so?
So any accent na
natutunan,
na-embed na natin habang nandyan ka sa UK?
Accent? Ang hirap naman, girl.
But how is the COVID situation right there? Is it still on a peak?
It's actually getting higher. Yeah, it's been getting higher these past few weeks. So it looks like we're having a second wave. Pretty soon. Yeah.
Parang New Zealand, may second wave.
Mamaya natin pag-usapan yan, nakakaba pag mga second wave. So anong oras na dyan sa UK?
It's 8-ish. 8 in the morning, yeah.
Oh, good morning.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Morena in Maori language.
Yes.
Morena.
So, insert kami ng mga ilang words na natutunan namin dito in Maori language. Yeah, like Morena is like a greeting.
Good morning.
In the morning.
Yes.
Yun.
Okay. So again, we'll get back to you in a while. The next one, eto na.
Ang international ba ulit?
Oo, Middle East to eh.
Okay. Hindi natin alam ang bati dyan.
So,
baka siya alam niya. Welcome natin.
Okay, let's hop on to Audrey Veluz.
Hi! Salam alaikum. Kif halish barat? O, yan ang Arabic greeting.
Paano nga sasagot? Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Yon! Okay.
Salam alaikum. Wa alaikum. Peace be upon you. And kif halish, how are you? It's for females. So, yon. Kaya kif halish banat sisters.
Okay, so right now, our next guest. Okay.
Anong oras ngayon sa Dubai?
Oo nga pala. Anong oras sa Dubai?
Uy, nasa Oman ako. Pero same time lang naman kami. May Dubai tayong delegate. Anyway, same lang naman kami ng Dubai. 11 a.m.
Okay, good morning then.
Okay.
Morena.
All right. So now, we also have a guest in the Philippines.
Yon.
To be honest, nahila ko lang siya kanina mga 30 minutes ago.
Oh.
Pero game na game to.
Dapat yung kapatid ko ayaw talaga pero naka-duty siya.
Yeah. So we welcome from the Philippines also a registered nurse.
The Philippines.
Okay.
Yan.
All right. We have Arnie Alvarez.
Hello titas. Late notice pero okay lang.
So, Arnie, kamusta? Nasaan ka ngayon?
Nasa Pilipinas. mga titas, nasa Pilipinas, still here in the Philippines.
Wala kang duty ngayon?
Walay.
Okay. All right. So, coming back to all of you.
Pahinga muna.
Thank you, Arnie. So, we'll get back. And before tayo mag-start, ano nga ba yung mga situation na madalas naririnig natin to sa mga nurses na na-encounter ko din, na na-encounter mo din. So, una, we have a nurse who have decided to pursue medicine. So, marami akong batchmates na after taking up nursing, they further studied to medicine. So, malalaman natin yan later. Next is, we have healthcare workers who went to other countries for greener pastures. OFW. So, yan ang pinakamaraming nangyayari ngayon sa Pinas. Deployment, o kaya being hired directly from UK, Middle East, as well as Australia, and also
In Singapore.
In
New
Singapore.
Zealand, may mga kilala rin tayong nurses sa Singapore, and they were also from the Philippines. So they were hired directly, or in our case dito sa New Zealand, before you can be a nurse here, meron silang tinatawag na bridging course, which is yung CAP. So hopefully, makagawa rin ng vlog ang mga titas about that, on how they successfully became a nurse here in New Zealand. So from the Philippines, hindi siya tinatanggap agad pero New Zealand wanted for them to have
a certain
fill the gap. What are the difference of being a nurse from the Philippines and here in New Zealand? So yun yung mga situation dito. Whereas abroad, Singapore, Middle East, may iba rin silang ways on how they were hired as a nurse. So sana mamaya mabigyan natin ng iba pang information yan.
Pag isa-isa sila on each country.
Mukhang hindi lang to isang oras, pero we'll try.
We'll try to squeeze it in, but please stay tuned hanggang live ang mga titas. Mga titas, okay.
Saka, yung may mga questions, post nyo lang sa ating channel para ma-address natin yan, ma'am.
Yes, so shout out to Miss Janvi Jenver and Catherine Ayala. Hello there in the Philippines. So now, we have our next guest. Ito, Dubai.
May Dubai.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, so Dubai, UAE, we welcome Minette Javier.
Hello.
Hi, Minette. How are you?
Hi. Good. Thank you.
Papapasalamalaikong na rin ba ako?
Ano?
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
So, Minette is also an RN in Dubai, UAE. And Minette is also an author of a book. Ano nga book yon, Minette?
Smile Across the Miles.
Okay.
Tayo kailangan yun.
No, actually.
Lalo na pag
minsan nakakalimutan.
Okay, welcome to the live stream. So going back, Minette, thank you so much for being here with us today. So we'll just start off with the list, an overview of what we'll be discussing. So I'll get back to you later. Okay. Perfect. So right now, going back, we also have doctors and nurses who are who further specialize training rather than being a general medical doctor. So we have Marion, who will also be sharing her journey as a medical doctor today. And next to that is we have health workers who became it has become a challenge in working in the Philippines, and maybe ito yung mga healthcare workers na naisip nila na ito ang panahon para umalis ng ating bansa to have greener
Siguro
pastures.
hindi lang panahon pwede natin sabihin the calling, kung saan ka tinatawag ng puso mo, yung happiness mo, like our first guest. maybe we can get to know more kung bakit niya naisipang mag-medicine. Yeah.
Okay. And the next would be meron tayong mga health workers who are handling COVID cases. So during the pandemic, actually pandemic pa rin naman ngayon. So we'll get their experience, ano ba yung feelings nila, feedback nila sa kanya-kanya nilang mga bansa na pinagtatrabahuhan, Pilipinas.
Wait lang, mag-disclaimer tayo.
Okay.
Our views
and opinions
expressed are with just for us, the vloggers. So we may have different opinions from your opinion, but we will try and address those issues based on our personal experience, no? So hindi natin kumbaga kung ano yung naramdaman namin, hindi yun mag-view for everyone else. So we'll try and be fair to each and everyone. So we have our own opinion. So but if you have any comments and concerns, please comment. Baka naman mas accurate yung information na pwede nyo ibigay sa amin and we'll try to address it as well. Yun.
Okay. So again, we have let me take over. So we have also health workers who would want to share their feelings towards their profession. So growth, challenges, regrets, if there are any. So we'll be talking about it later, and they'll be sharing their experience, especially now. Nako, may pandemic nga. Gaano ba nakakabigat itong nangyayari sa kanilang workload sa everyday nilang being a staff nurse or specialized nurse or a doctor. So next is about family, within family. We have healthcare workers who have migrated to be with their family. So may mga cases na ganyan na sumunod sa asawa, kasama si mommy at daddy na nasa US or nasa Oman or nasa Dubai. And also we have an ultimate question to answer. So lahat sila sasagot, should I stay or should I go? Yan ang pinaka-importante. Meron ba silang regrets? Tama?
Dapat walang regrets.
Yes.
Let's live our life.
To the fullest, di ba? Okay. So, right now, we would like to call on our first guest. Okay? So, she is a nurse who decided to pursue medicine. She got her medical degree from the University of the East Ramon Magsaysay Memorial Medical Center. Then, she specialized into internal medicine from the same institution. But there's more. She then further specialized to adult cardiology in St. Luke's Medical Center.
Ito yung mga ito yung mga hindi tinatamad mag-aral.
In short,
lang mag-aral.
At hindi pa sila natapos doon. May specialization pa after the specialization training. Okay, so now let us welcome Dr. Marion Lagmay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi again.
Hi.
Hello.
Parang pag sinasabi ko yung doc, kinakabahan ako eh. Parang
Bakit?
hindi akong nagawa sa health ko.
Oo, laging notion pag sinabing, pumunta ka sa doktor. Ay, una, gastos yan. Pangalawa, kinakabahan ka, di ba? Tama.
Ano naman?
Dok, tama ba yun? Laging meron something na mali.
I think normal yan. Hindi ka naman nag-iisa dyan, Trish. Marami na akong patients na ganyan.
Okay. So, Marion, how are you? And also, welcome to the Titas of the South. So, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Welcome to the Tita Club.
Ayun. Now, Marion, we would like to know if you can share a brief journey of why you have continued to do medicine when you're already a registered nurse in the Philippines. Okay.
Medyo mahabang kwento yan.
Sige lang, We have 827 viewers right now watching.
Wow!
Yes.
Hello everyone. Sana may natutunan kayo.
May 827 na nanonood, baka naman. Joke lang.
Pwede naman pag-usapan yan, di ba?
Kaya.
Okay, so sharing your brief journey, why you have continued to do medicine, and when you're already a registered nurse.
Okay, so like what April said, no, and Trish, I was a nurse. My pre-medical course is nursing, so I'll explain why it was nursing and why I decided to pursue medicine. So initially in high school, I was already planning to be a doctor actually. The greatest influence would be my aunt. She's also a cardiologist here in the Philippines. So she was, actually, di ba April, alam mo naman, di ba, yung family ko, hindi naman kami family of doctors actually. We are a family of engineers. My grandparents, yung grandfather ko on both sides, and are engineer. Tapos both of my parents are actually engineer, and my uncle and my aunts, no. So we are a family of engineers. So maraming nagtataka din why I pursued medicine. Pero kasi nung high school, I was already fascinated with science eh. Pero except pala biochem, di ko talaga kaya.
Hanggang Chem 101 lang yata ako.
Oo. So yun. So I was also thinking of something that would give me stability. I didn't had any plans of going abroad at that time. So I was happy to be here in the to stay here in the Philippines. So I decided na probably it's medicine. Although on hindsight, medyo hindi rin ako masyado exposed sa maraming courses or sa maraming types of jobs, no. So yun lang yung naiisip ko at that time to pursue, no, na something that I imagine myself that I can do, parang ganon. Although syempre nakakatakot din siya. So nag-nursing ako because una, nung time na yon, di ba April, yun yung time na ang dami nating nag-nursing, yun yung uso.
Yes.
Yun yung uso, di ba? Lahat na lang tayo nurses, di ba? So yun yung time na nag-boom talaga yung nursing, no? So it was during our time. So I decided to do nursing because according to my tita, actually, it was a good pre-medical course. Pero sa totoo lang, hindi. Totoo lang, no, when I became a doctor, hindi siya ganun kagandang pre-med course, no. There are other pre-med course that are better if you want to pursue medicine. Well, anyway, pero I was also thinking of something practical. Syempre, nung time yun, natatakot ako na hindi ko rin naman alam kung kaya ko ba talagang, things are not certain, di ba? So, I was already planning on something na on the practical side. So, I thought, kung nursing, if ever I don't become a doctor, if ever along the way I decided not to pursue medicine already, it will be something practical that may fallback ako, kumbaga. So, I have, di ba, na something that would give me stability. No.
Correct.
So yun yung mga reasons ko why I decided to do nursing. So actually when I was already in college, when I was studying for nursing nung third year, medyo alam ko nakwento ko na to sa iyo April, di ba? Tsaka nagkikita naman tayo then. So sabi ko parang pagod na ako, parang hindi ko na yata kaya mag-aral nung time na yun. I was so tired and exhausted already at that time. Tapos at the same time, parang I was disillusioned with the healthcare system. Kasi nag-duty na tayo nun eh. Medyo nakikita na natin yung reality at that time. So, parang sabi ko, sige, I'll just pursue nursing, pero definitely not here in the country. It's not an option kasi hindi talaga maganda ang nursing dito sa Philippines. So ang plan ko, I'll just go to the US, probably in Chicago, kasi that's where my uncle lives, no? So, pero pagdating ko ng fourth year nursing, di ba, mas exposed pa tayo lalo na sa clinical duties at that time. And then, mas complex patients ang hinahandle na natin nung time na yon. So parang may nafe-feel akong parang may kulang, parang bakit hindi ko siya masyadong maintindihan. Gusto kong malaman bakit nagkakaganon? Unang-una, bakit nagkaroon ng sakit na ganon? For example, why was it happening? Tapos syempre you have several diagnoses, no? Pag dumating yung pasyente, how would you be able to confirm it? Or how are you going to dispute one of the diagnoses para matanggal mo siya sa iisipin mo, no? Para malaman mo what's really going on with the patient. Tapos, how do you treat it? Kung may diagnosis ka na, ano ba talaga ang best treatment?
Yes.
And then, kapag nabigay mo yung treatment, according to the books, no, bakit hindi siya nag-respond? Bakit itong mga pasyenteng to, pare-pareho sila ng sakit, pare-pareho ng treatment, pero bakit iba-iba ang response nila sa different treatment, no? So, medyo may parang ganun akong feeling na parang may kulang, parang I want to do more. And the ultimate question I asked myself then was, what can I do? What can I do more, no? So, parang it was a hunger for further understanding in a way, and a hunger to know ultimately what's going on, parang ganon. So yun. So nung 4th year, I decided to apply in medicine after my nursing degree. Pero hindi yon purely altruistic motive, ha. Of course, I wanted
Pero
to
Marion,
take
I have a question.
Sure. Okay.
Mahal ba mag-medicine?
We'll get into that. Sige. I'll mention it later. Sige. So, as I was saying, it wasn't actually purely altruistic. Oo, gusto ko. I want to help people. Yun naman talaga eh. Kapag naman naging nurse ka, naging doctor ka, or if you take any of the allied health profession, parang your ultimate goal or your purpose in life is really to take care of people, to let them live, diba? To help them get to help them get better. So, pero hindi nga lang yun, as I said, no. So, nakikita ko kasi ang medicine is one of the parang one of the secure professions here in the country. Hindi siya yung pinaka-secure, ha. I just want to correct that. Kung gusto nyong yumaman, hindi medicine, hindi pagdodoktor, hindi nursing ang dapat kukunin. Erika, sasabihin yan mamaya ni Erika, I'm sure. So,
mag-YouTube tsaka mag-Facebook streaming. Kailangan lang namin ng tulong nyo.
Oh, yun. I'm thankful on that.
Yes. Okay. So yun nga, parang at least in a way it will give me a stable profession, no, here in the Philippines. And at the same time, medicine here in the Philippines will allow you to grow personally and professionally. So I decided na sige, I'll pursue medicine. Pero may mga disadvantage na actually naisip ko na siya even before I went ahead with medicine. Unang-una, it will be a long commitment. No, April, alam mo naman, di ba?
Parang natapos pa rin siya tapos.
Oo, di ba? Parang
ako 4 years na nurse ka na.
Oo, di ba? All throughout our the past few decade na, in the past decade, I mean, ang tanong nyo na lang sa akin, hindi ka pa rin ba tapos? sa tagal, di ba?
So, hindi na ang parents mo rin encouraging you.
Pinag-usapan naman namin yan. We all sat down and talked about it. No? So, it's a long commitment. It's really, really long. Kailangan talaga ng commitment, no? Parang mas kailangan committed ka dito kaysa sa asawa mo. Parang in a way, gano'n.
Hindi siya mag-doctor. Sure ako.
Ito na lang.
Okay.
So, at the same time,
as a question, why cardiology?
Sige, I'll explain it later.
Yes.
I just want to tell the viewers na yung disadvantages niya kasi baka akala nila lahat it's all parang sunshines and daisies pag nag-medicine ka kasi ang tingin niyo ang yaman-yaman namin, di ba? Hindi
naman. Mahal eh. Oo, pagka may hospital, may kita mo na iba yung hospital bill, merong professional fee, at meron pang anik sa baba. So, maybe siguro pag tinitingnan na namin, ako, na may na-ospital sa family, pag tiningnan na natin kung ano yung laman ng bill, aside from the main bill itself, mas mahal din yung professional fee.
Yes, yes. I'll explain din bakit ganon. In a way, no, para at least makuha ng mga viewers kung bakit ganon, no. So, ayun nga, it's a long commitment, tapos definitely may mga sacrifices. Maraming sacrifices. You know naman, the peak of our lives are usually mga nasa age ng 20s and 30s. Pero basically, we sacrifice our 20s and 30s, no. Wala talagang kasi gusto nga namin, so we had no choice. Pero it was something na we accepted already from the very start. At the same time, dami kong na-miss na birthdays and holidays. Di ba, April, yung mga lakad natin, hindi ko mapuntahan.
Di ba, naalala ko pa, one time we have to meet your friends. Pero dahil naka-duty ka or somewhere na hindi mo kailangan lumayo, kami yung nagpunta malapit sa'yo.
Oo, di ba? Kung hindi nyo pa ako pinuntahan, hindi ko kayo makakasama. Di ba? Ganon, no? So, ayun. Tapos at the same time, one of the disadvantage really was medyo mahirap to take care of our parents and our loved ones during kapag nag-medicine ka. My mom, alam mo to, April, di ba, yung mom ko had breast cancer no 2012 yata or 2013.
Yes.
So, she had to go into chemo and radiation therapy at nung time na yun. Pero hindi ko siya masamahan kasi nung time na yun, nagjo-duty ako. I had no choice, no? So, over the phone lang kami mag-uusap. Pero I can't be with her. So, minsan, yun yung mga one of the regrets na sayang naman. I'm a doctor, pero hindi ko man lang nasamahan yung mom ko, di ba? Pero she was getting the best treatment naman. It's just that, iba pa rin sana yung emotional support that you would give if I was physically there. Well, anyway, so yun, pero we all had understood it, especially my parents, kasi we all sat down before I went into medicine. Siyempre, tinanong ko kung kaya ba namin, unang-una, pangalawa, tinanong din nila kung kaya ko ba. Sabi ko, I will. Sabi ko, I will do it, no? So, ayun nga, I took the board exam ng nursing. Nag-board exam pa rin ako ng nursing kahit alam ko na magme-medicine na ako. So, that was mga around June 1 or 2, if I remember it correctly, no? And then 10 days later, start na ako ng medicine. So, basically, walang pahinga talaga.
Okay.
So,
if I may ask the second question.
Yes.
In the Philippines, ito personal opinion ko on why you chose to pursue medicine. Do you think nurses are undervalued?
Oo naman.
I mean, honestly speaking, real talk, di ba?
This is parang disclaimer nyo nga, no? This is my personal opinion only. Pero yes, definitely, talagang undervalued ang nurses dito, no? Unang-una, mababa ang pay compared sa ibang bansa, no? At the same time, hindi sila, no compensation. There's no compensation, walang compensation, and walang incentives. Tapos, parang the government parang got used to the fact na nurses would eventually go out of the country. So the system was made in such a way na gano'n, na parang nakontento na lang ang gobyerno na mag-deploy ng nurses outside of the country. So the hospitals actually sometimes take advantage of that fact, no? So may mga kaibigan ako, kasi pag pumunta ka abroad, sometimes you need 2 years experience here in the Philippines before you get accepted abroad,
Actually,
diba?
sa New Zealand, they need 5 right now.
Yun, diba?
Capacity. So, hindi pwedeng community hospital ka lang or clinic lang.
Yes.
At least 100-bed hospital yon. So, magsa-struggle ka talagang maghanap ng hospital na mayroong 100 bed and above. Otherwise, hindi nila credit dito yun as experience.
Yes, oo. So, talagang talagang sometimes people and the government would take advantage of that. So, ang gagawin, i-hire ka for 2 years without even any pay. As in, not a single centavo. Kasi, syempre, ikaw na nurse na gusto mong umalis agad, di ba? To give your family a better life and to give yourself a better life. Kakagatin mo yun, no? Dahil madaming competition.
Before, we were supposed to pay them for us to get training. Kaya doon ako na-discourage. Me, myself, na-discourage ako kasi there were no hospitals available. I mean, open slots for newly graduate nurses or registered nurses to
So kung
practice.
parang nung araw may baby boomer, merong nursing
Nurse
boom.
boom.
Nursing yung
Yeah.
time nila,
Oo.
which is like 2004,
Yes.
2005, 2006 yung batch
Yes.
nila, kabatch nyo, yung kapatid ko din. So, we have to pay a hospital like around 10,000 pesos.
Exactly.
Para lang
From the
makapag-OJT
experience.
yung kapatid ko that
Yes,
time.
yes, 'di ba? So talagang 'di ba? Ikaw ba naman gugustuhin mo ba naman ng ganyan? I mean, mahal ko ang Pilipinas, pero grabe naman. 'Di ba? Grabe naman. Paano ka naman? Paano naman yung pamilya mo, 'di ba? Syempre you have to have food in the table, no? So
Yes.
kailangan you have to feed your family din. So
Unless may kaya yung pamilya nyo.
oo. Pero 'di ba?
That's not the real case. So,
Yes.
going next to yung topic natin today. Have you thought about migrating to other countries for a safer environment?
Better
Ito
pay.
during pandemic to. Kasi marami ang nagsawa sa sistema na meron tayo na iba yung sinasabi sa television and iba yung nangyayari on the field. So, in that particular moment, did you or would you want to fly out to have a safer environment?
Ngayon na doctor ako and I already trained, no, medyo mahaba na kasi yung training ko. So, hindi na siya option sa akin for me right now.
Okay.
Unang-una kasi if I go abroad, most of the countries won't recognize, no, yung training na ginawa ko dito and the board exams that I took, no. So medyo mahirap siya, hindi na siya feasible at this point of time in my life right now. At the same time, ang doctor naman, in a way, sabi ko nga, di ba, kaya I took medicine here in the Philippines, it's because it's more secure, it's a more secure job compared to nursing. Pero had I been a nurse, yeah, definitely I will go out. I will definitely go out of the country kasi talagang there's really unang-una medyo degrading ang tingin sa nurses dito. I think you open up ni Erika yan later. And then at the same time, what we were talking about before ni Erika, no, April, na wala talagang growth. Hindi ka empowered if you're a nurse here in the Philippines, hindi ka empowered. Dapat the government and the different society should look into that. Pero yun nga, sadly, walang growth professionally sa nurses. So yeah, I would go out. I would definitely.
Okay. So during the peak of the pandemic, since you're a doctor and supposed to be pag tinawag ka ng hospital and you're ready to be deployed, do you think you were ready as a frontliner? Did you ever doubted yourself?
Oo naman, definitely hindi. Kasi parang ganito siya. That's like what one of my consultants or one of my mentors said, no. This pandemic is similar to our generation's war. Kasi
Yes.
yung generation natin, wala naman tayong war na experience, di ba? Unlike our grandparents, yung grandfather ko and yung grandmother ko both experienced World War II. Buhay na sila nung time na yon, no? So tayo, wala namang mga ganyan. So I think parang this is similar to a war, no? So syempre pag ganun, wala ka, di ba, no one's prepared naman talaga to fight in a war, di ba? So pero aside from the fear of getting the disease, it was also parang the fear and the dread na you're handling something that is very, very new. So everyone is really in the dark, no, on how to treat these patients. So this is something that is unknown to everyone, and like what Dr. Fauci said, no, in one of his interviews, the virus is a pleomorphic type of virus. So this is really changing and variable. So no one really knows how to go about it. So there is there's no treatment and cure up until now. There's no vaccine pa rin. so we do not know how and what the complications are. So yun yung fear namin as a doctor noon. Paano namin i-handle tong mga ganitong cases.
Okay.
Kaya actually no, gusto ko lang i-point out nung mga una, nung 'di ba nag-start dito sa Philippines mga March, April no, nung nag-uumpisa siya, medyo madaming mortalities. Aside from the fact na talagang deadly no, yung virus at lalo na if you have comorbidities, hindi masyado pasanay ang mga tao and ang mga nurses and mga doctors so how to take care of these patients. Pero eventually may time na around siguro mga May or June nung time na bumababa yung cases and the mortalities, it was because parang the doctors were already know how to go about these patients, paano nila i-handle to mga patients. Even the nurses, alam na nila what techniques and what maneuvers to do, no, to take care of the respiratory disease of these patients, no.
Okay, going to our next question. What were your experiences during the pandemic? Was there any personal experience related to that that you want to share to our viewers, like a doctor like yourself?
Hindi naman kasi talaga I'm a cardiologist, no. So sorry pala, just to answer your question earlier, hindi ko na kasi nasagot why cardiology. It was something that I was really passionate about. Parang high school pa lang ay parang medyo maganda ang cardio kasi it's something na physiologic. Hindi kasi ako magaling masyado sa memorization. So parang mas gusto ko siya kasi hindi ko kailangan, meron pa rin, of course, may mga i-memorize pa rin. Pero if you really know how it works, parang paiikot-ikutin man, masasagot mo siya. So parang yun yung gusto ko sa cardiology. Tapos, so getting back, no, hindi naman kasi kami talaga ang frontliners ng COVID. Infectious disease specialist, pulmonologist, the ER doctors and the ER nurses, and the anesthesiologists actually are really the frontline workers, health workers that battle COVID. Wala ako masyadong significant experience in taking care of patients with COVID. Ang talagang significant for me was ako yung naging pasyente actually, no? Diba? So
the COVID-19.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So walang ligtas ang doktor. Kahit
oo, diba?
Everybody hurt you.
So yun yung So yun nga. So ayun nga, both of kami ng auntie ko, she's also a cardiologist, was also taking care of patients at that time. So we got the disease, tapos unfortunately nahawaan din namin yung lola ko. She was already hindi pa pala siya. She is 93 years old. So yun nga, she got the disease. They both had to be hospitalized. Ako, fortunately, it was only a mild infection sa akin. Pero yung aunt ko and my lola, they had severe to moderate to severe type of COVID. So they had to be hospitalized. It was actually just short of a miracle na-survive ng lola ko. Fortunately, she survived it. So
they're fine now.
Yeah, they're at home already, and we are all recovered naman.
Very good.
So yun. So I just want to point out, sabi nga ni April na talagang lahat pwedeng mahawa. So I understand naman na everyone at this point, it has already been how many months, no? Matatapos na yung taon, ilang months na lang, pero we are still battling this problem, and parang there seems to be no end pa at this point, no? Although meron naman ng ongoing vaccines. Pero ayun nga, no? So parang lahat pwedeng mahawa. So I know we are all exhausted and tired already of dealing with this, of parang being in this new normal. Pero we really have to parang do all the precautions para hindi tayo, kasi sabihin na natin like tayo, April, no? Kung tayo, hindi man tayo mahawa, pero you also think about the other people that you are with. Like, yun nga yung lola ko, na she's someone very vulnerable, no? So, naipasa namin sa kanya, unknowingly. Syempre, no? Hindi naman namin, we didn't want it, diba? It was just that we were all in the same house, and we didn't know we were already infected at that time. So talagang, despite all the precautions that we did, somehow we got infected. So yun, talagang we control, let us control things that we can control. Pero otherwise, talagang we really have to be on our guard always.
Yep. Okay. So, marami ang nag-wonder kung ang COVID ay nakukuha sa droplets, in the surrounding air, kung kanino ka man makakatabi mo. Very brief, can you explain us how does it affect the cardiovascular system?
In layman's term, kasi syempre hindi naman tayo lahat medical profession.
Correct.
Siguro yung para sa mga nandoon pa rin sa mga bahay nila na hanggang ngayon ay hesitant pa rin maniwala on what it can do to us.
Especially kung immunocompromised, yung may mga heart ailments na katulad ni Lloyd Cadena. May he rest in peace. Pero paano ba nakaka-aggravate lalo kung meron kang heart problems ang COVID-19?
Okay, so hindi siya directly affecting the cardiovascular system. It will indirectly affect the cardiovascular system. Ano ba yung mga pwedeng maging complications in terms of the heart, no, if you have the COVID? Unang-una would be heart attack. Pangalawa, myocarditis or perimyocarditis. It's a condition wherein the muscles and the lining or the sac that surrounds the heart gets infected. Pangatlo, pwedeng magkaroon ng rhythm disturbances or arrhythmia, as how we call it. Pang-apat, thrombosis, no, na lumalapot yung dugo. So pwedeng bumara siya sa buong katawan, no, hindi lang sa heart. So ang heart attack, just briefly lang, no, para lang sa mga viewers so that they could understand it. Yung heart attack na nangyayari is it's because of the increase in the oxygen demand and supply, no, kaya nagkakaroon nun. Pwedeng ang isang tao meron na talagang inherent na pagbabara doon. Ang puso kasi parang ganito ko siya kasi ine-explain sa mga pasyente ko. Ang puso para siyang bahay, may 4 na kwarto. So your atrium, your right and left atrium, and then your right and left ventricles, no. Tapos may pintuan yun in between. So, yun yung mga valves mo.
Hindi na kami follow ni Tita Trish.
Hindi, okay lang. Left and right heart ventricles, yun. Biology. Yes, biology no high school. Naalala ko yun.
Masyadong nahirapan ako dyan.
So, di ba parang bahay siya na may 4 na kwarto, may mga pintuan in between para makadaan yung dugo, para dumaloy siya. Yes. So, sa isang bahay, meron kang tubo ng tubig, meron ka ding linya ng kuryente, di ba? So, yun. Okay. Ang heart attack, ang problema is nandoon sa tubo ng tubig, no?
Okay.
Or the coronary arteries, as we call it. So, ito, pwedeng yung isang tao, pwedeng meron na talaga siyang problema doon. May mga pagbabara na because of the cholesterol and the lipids, no, over the years. Yes. Ang nangyayari kapag nagkaroon ka ng sakit, ng infection, tumataas yung demand ng katawan mo, no, because your body is trying to fight off these infections. So yung metabolic demand is increasing. So kailangan mag-pump ng puso mo faster and mas malakas para masupplyan niya ng dugo kasi your blood would transport the oxygen or yung energy na kailangan ng katawan, no. So ayun, pwedeng may pagbabara na doon sa tubo na because of the increase in the demand ng oxygen and the faster, yung heart mo, no, working faster, so mas mabilis na tibok ng puso and contracting more forcefully. So, pwedeng matanggal yung mga pagbabara na yun, biglang matanggal. Syempre, your body, kapag nagkaroon ng bleeding, it will also do something to fight off that. So, para to protect you. So, may mga darating na mga, how can I explain this ba? Parang soldiers to try to stop that bleeding. And yun yung nagkukos ng pagbabara. Yun yung nagiging heart attack, no? So, yun.
I think maybe magkaroon ng part 2 yung ano mo, Doc, ha?
Let's see.
Kasi kahit ako naiintindihan ko pa at naalala ko pa yung ibang mga medical terms mo eh. Pero it will be like a very, very long discussion.
Yes, actually.
Okay, sa live stream, kung gusto nyo magkaroon tayo ng part 2 with Doc Marion para i-discuss yung relationship ng COVID-19 on what it can do sa katawan natin, sa ano niya, sa forte niya, sa cardiology. So, napakaraming mga terms na very, very deep.
Sorry, medyo mahirap kasi talaga siyang i-explain and medyo mahaba talaga siya i-explain. So, yun. But anyway, the usual heart attack, no, pwedeng usually it's those patients already who has a parang problem already with the heart, with the coronaries, dun sa tubo ng tubig or dugo, no, na nagkakaroon ng problema eventually because of the infection, no. Actually, hindi lang COVID, lahat ng infection ganyan. So, kapag may infection ka sa katawan na medyo hirap ang katawan mo to fight it off, pwedeng mag-cause ng heart attack, no. So, pangalawa, punta tayo dun sa myocarditis or perimyocarditis. Myocarditis, ibig sabihin, inflamed, no? Itis kasi is inflammation. Myo, the muscles, no? The muscles of the heart, no? So, yung bahay mo, may walls yun, no? Yung walls na yun yung muscle. Yun yung nagko-contract para itapon yung dugo palabas ng puso, no? Para i-supply sa buong katawan. So, actually, hindi lang COVID, almost all the viruses or most viruses and some bacteria and parasites and sometimes are notorious, no, to causing this myocarditis or perimyocarditis. Perimyocarditis, if the lining, yung puso kasi hindi lang siya nandyan. May protection siya, parang sac. May protection siya para hindi siya magkaroon ng, para it would limit the what do you call this, yung pag-receive ng blood. At the same time, it would also serve as a protection from other infection. Pag may infection ka, for example, sa lungs, hindi siya basta-basta pupunta sa puso because of that lining, no? So it serves as a protection. Pero minsan dahil because of the any viruses in your body or any infection, nagkakaroon siya ng inflammation, nagre-react siya. So, yun yung nangyayari, no? Pag nangyari yun, pag nagkaroon ng problema yung muscle and the sac around it, no? Limitado yung pag-expand ng puso mo para tumanggap ng dugo. So, kung limitado ang papasok na dugo doon sa heart, limitado din syempre yung maitatapon niya sa buong katawan mo.
Tama,
diba?
tama.
So yun yung isa pa.
Agad dun daw. Okay, Doc Mario, thank you for that brief explanation. So ngayon, I would like to give the floor to you in giving shout-outs before we go to our next guests. So, shout-outs for your family, friends.
If I want to have like a professional opinion or consultation, how we can reach you?
Okay, so prepared na dyan si Doc.
So right now I'm available for teleconsultation. So the link shown there or the links, no. So I have a Medify account and a Sirius MD, so you can find me in any of those links.
Okay, flashing it right now. Doc, do you have any shout outs to your friends, families?
Siyempre, yung mga kaibigan natin na taga-Saints ko, siyempre magagalit pag di ko binate, no? Hi, Lori! You're watching there from the US. Alam ko, it's 3 a.m. yata right now there.
Yes.
Hello! Thank you for watching. And then Pia, Ash, Lian, and Mayet, hi! So, and to all Colasas who are also watching this, hello to my UERM friends, my batchmates in internal medicine. So Rika Monique, Kat, Fiona and Delo, hello. And also Lynette and Chuck, who are also nurses, and Lynette is a doctor who are there in New Zealand. Pero nasa north side sila. Hello.
Introduced me to them.
I will.
Mamaya babalikan ulit ka namin, Doc, para sa part 2, online chismisan.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna call on our next guest.
Wait, Mag-i-English ba tayo? Kasi ano to eh, US to eh. Kaya lang mag-8 p.m. na dito sa New Zealand, 8 to 5 lang yung English namin ni April. Bukas pagagalitan na naman ako ng amo ko, wala daw siyang naintindihan. Sorry na.
Okay, so now, she is a registered nurse in the United States, and she has worked in one of the prestigious hospitals in the US. Okay, John Hopkins Hospital. And for those who are not aware, she has been also featured in an article by ABS-CBN, how COVID-19 has changed the life for one of the John Hopkins nurse. So let us welcome Erika Bautista-Roño. Hi, Erika! Kamusta?
Ay, naantok na,
Hello
baby.
to your lovely dog.
Naantok na siya.
So, anong kaganapan ngayon sa US?
Ito, hanggang ngayon nagdedebate pa rin sila kung magmamask o hindi. It's their right not to wear a mask. So.
Okay. Well, actually, recently dito lang nag-implement ng mask. Dahil na-trace nila through our tagging system. Kasi pag sumasakay ka kasi ng bus dito, bihirang-bihira na yung cash. So, may card ka na lang, beep card. So, na-trace nila na yung isang particular area up north ay na-infect from a bus ride. So, they recently implemented wearing mask on all public transportation. Yes. Yeah.
So, Erika, I believe you are married to Alan, who is he around right now? Does he wanna say hello? Ayan. Okay lang. Ayan. So, for our first question.
Wait, tawagan natin.
Okay. For our first question, other than on a regular basis of being a registered nurse in your unit, what areas have you specialized?
So I started as a new grad sa emergency department. That's really where I wanted to be nung student pa lang. I was there until very recently, full-time ako doon. I tried med-surg. It wasn't really for me. Let me tell you, hindi madali ang med-surg, okay? Sa mga I wanna take this as a learning opportunity as well for people.
Yep.
Don't wag tayo as nurses, wag tayong magmaliit ng ibang units. Wag natin sabihin, ay floor nurse lang sila. It's not like that. You're a nurse, you're either a nurse or you're not, 'di ba? Hindi madaling graduate una-una. Hindi madaling mag-boards. Dalawang araw na exam. I mean, that's not easy. Hindi. So let's stop, branding it as a special unit or whatever. But anyway, I started in the ER. Nag-med-surg ko. I didn't. It's just not my personality. I don't know. I felt so claustrophobic being in one unit na hindi ako makapaglakbat siya. Kasi diba sa ER ko, saan ka pumupunta, and then, alam mo yun, nag-aakit ka ng pasyente, nagta-transport ka, and all that good stuff. Pero sa floor, you have to be there, and it just didn't suit me. And then now, I actually get to travel more because nag-full-time ako sa vascular access. So, now, hindi lang ako sa ER. I go to the whole hospital. Tapos yung hospital ko ngayon, I cover three hospitals within the Harrisburg area. And then I still also do Hopkins. I do Bayview ER, which is another Johns Hopkins then. That's where I started. And then I also still do 2 departments in the downtown campus of, that's the main campus of Johns Hopkins. I do ER there and vascular access through their agency.
Okay. So you're working in 2 institutions right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I heard you parang nag-transfer kayo from Maryland. Tinagalog ko na, tapos na yung 5 p.m.
Yeah, so from pagdating dito, we were in California, and then wala lang, naisip ko lang mag-Hopkins. I mean, why not, di ba? Pumunta ka na lang din sa...
Pero it's one of the best talaga na hospitals. And lahat ng data ng COVID-19 yata ng US is coming from John Hopkins, right? O yun.
I mean,
Si Erika, nakita ko yung mga pictures niya. Ha?
Hindi, go
Yung mga pictures mo, nakikita ko, mas malaki pa yung mga machine sa kanya. Tinutulak niya yun. Kala mo di nakita yun, ha?
Nakasalubong ko kasi hindi nila nakikita na nandun ako sa likod.
So, no matter how tall or short you are, you're a nurse, di ba? So, kaya natin lahat yan.
Yeah, be proud of your degree. It's not easy it wasn't easy getting that.
Yes. So, in your opinion, ito na yung next question. Do you think nurses are undervalued, not just in the Philippines?
Pwede ba ako magmura? Oh.
Wag, mamaya na lang. Online chismisan.
Okay, not just in the Philippines, but we're talking about US.
I mean, you can tell what I want to say, diba? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, hindi naman naalis yung mga tao kung kahit paano may katiting na value ang nurses sa Philippines. I mean, even doctors, you see all these, alam mo, maliban na sa sweldo, alam mo, you have to pay to work. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Diba, ano to, alipin na nga, magbabayad ka para maging alipin. Ano yun?
Oo, tama.
Diba? It doesn't make sense.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And then very basic, ito na lang, wag na tayo kasi fine, sabihin nila hindi mahirap baguhin yung sweldo kasi pag binago mo yung sweldo ng isang ospital, you have to equalize everybody. You have to, alam mo yun, pati ibang ospital gagaya and hindi kaya ng budget nila, whatever. Very basic, yung hindi na kailangan lumabas ng ibang institution. Scheduling ng nursing sa Philippines, 40 hours a week, 8-hour days. Ang hirap noon, especially with our commute, di ba?
Yes.
Ang tagal. Unang-una, papunta sa mga hospitals. I mean, not everybody lives near the hospitals kasi unang-una, yung availability ng jobs. Di ba? Minsan, taga Novaliches ka, wala kang choice kasi natanggap ka sa Makati Med or natanggap ka sa Asian. So, dulo-dulo yung commute mo. And it's too expensive.
Just to butt in, Erika is from, you studied nursing in Makati Med, right?
No, I did in Trinity.
In Trinity, but you practiced in Makati Med. Okay. Because Makati Med has also a school for nurses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yun. And Sam is one of them.
Oh, yeah. Me, Sam, mga kulas. Ang daming kulas doon actually. Steph, Glessica, but Glessica is a resident. Tapos si Chris
Ambeng.
Yep. Even sa ER lang mismo, ang daming, nandun ako may dalawang, apart from Steph, I was working with Dr. Bernardo. I think she's batch 99. And then Dr. Cedilia, she was batch 94. Madaming kulas.
Okay. In the US, in the salary-wise, undervalued din nurses nung pandemic. Kasi napansin namin, parang nagkakakulangan kayo ng, ng PPE. And other states would really recruit from other states and doubling their salaries. As much as how much na? 4,000 a week? Hindi lang. So, anong range yung recruitment nila per week?
Malalaman natin yung sweldo ni Erika.
Mataas ang mga travel agencies. Mataas sila kasi contract ka lang. I don't want to say lang. Contract worker ka for them and then wala kang benefits. Hindi ka included sa benefits ng hospital. So wala kang binabayarang retirement, you know, lahat 'yun nandun sa sweldo mo. So it's up to you how you want to spend it. Kaya siya mataas. But
contract.
Yeah. Pero it's good money kasi ano ba? Sabihin ko ba?
Yung not exact amount, but the range per week ang offer.
Nung sagsag ng COVID over in New York, they were offering up to 10,000 a week.
That's like 450,000 pesos. More or less. Tama. Mga ganon.
Pero ano yun ha? Dire-diretsyong duty yun. Like, you have to be there for straight 28 days or whatever.
So you weren't allowed to go home then?
No.
Okay.
Wala kang off in between. That's straight 28 days.
Dito na lang ako.
US ka na.
Dito na lang ako. Hindi ako aalis.
2 months lang.
kahit
Ay,
ano,
may
kahit
kapalit
ilang
lahat
sweldo,
yan.
okay na.
Baka
happy
2
na
months
ako.
lang.
Hindi na, dito na lang ako. O, ikaw naman. O, yun.
May
Tapos,
kapalit lahat yun. So,
okay, ayan, may kapalit lahat.
With great money comes with great responsibility.
And no PPE.
Oh.
No
Bring your-
PPE.
bring
Bring
your
your own. Is it
totoo
true?
yun. Totoo yun. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
true. Kaya ngayon, I mean, swerte ko kasi yung both hospitals where I work at, parehong walang problema sa PPE. So, yun din yung isa sa healthcare problem dito. Yun, alam mo yun, depende sa ospital kung nasan ka, depende sa location, depende sa budget nung, or kung priority ba nila yun.
Okay. Next question. Let's go to that. During the peak of the pandemic, hindi naman peak, pasimula pa lang, nung binibigyan na kayo ng briefing, was there a time you felt, handa ba talaga ako for this? Natanong ko na to kay Marion. Pero I want to ask everyone, with their
medical
point of view.
frontliners ang mas may unang makaka-get ng information.
Oo.
Yeah.
Kaya nga frontliners siguro naman may briefing kung ano yung pwedeng mangyari sa inyo.
What will
while
you
on
expect?
duty.
Health and safety. Ayun.
Nung time na yun, I was working full-time sa ER ng Hopkins. Both, downtown, and then I was doing part-time shifts dun sa Bayview. I would say yes and no. Yes, kasi handa kasi, alam mo yun, we studied this in school, di ba? Pandemics, epidemics, and all that good stuff, mass casualty. And then part ng ER training, yung pag-handle ng mga ganong events. Before this, actually wala pa ako sa Makati noon, but if you remember Glorieta bombing, that was in 2007. That was right before, that was the year the year before we graduated. So we as ER nurses, as ER healthcare workers, we are prepared for those kinds of things. And then, ano pa ba? A couple of years before this, Ebola, we had training for that. May special unit ang Hopkins.
Grabe ang swerte.
So tuloy-tuloy yun. Hindi every year merong annual update kasama yung precautions, isolation, what do you do for this kind of case. Ang hindi kami prepared was how public health so miserably failed. Like with everything we know today, diba? 2020, ang dami ng research. You have all these geniuses working on this. You have World Health, you have CDC, you have Harvard, you have Hopkins, Mayo Clinic, whatever else you can name. All of these brilliant minds existing today, and we've failed. Diba? I'm sorry. I'm so.
Kasi coming from the numbers that are have been, I mean, in the US, talagang kayo yung nag-peak sa totoo lang. Above Europe, above Australia, let's say, Philippines, talagang top pa rin ng US eh. And with that, did you ever felt safe? And with that, additional, ginusto mo bang pumunta sa ibang bansa? Just to escape what's
Hindi ka ba
happening?
nagsisi?
Oo.
For a little bit, yeah. I would say I felt safe kasi we were given daily updates. As in almost every hour merong update. Kung may bagong kailangang gawin, the manager is always there making an announcement. We have our phones, we have our emails. Laging meron. And then we were actually taking extra precautions compared to everybody else in the US. So in that regard, I felt safe. And even with my current hospital, that's also the same. You know, konting symptom mo lang, you're taken off of the roster. Tapos you're paid for it, so you don't have to worry about not having a salary while you're being ruled out for it. So maganda.
Ayan yung comparison.
Yeah.
Trish's sister, okay, that has been a really a bad experience for us because we were told na nagkaroon siya ng COVID, pero parang siya pa rin yung nagbayad. So parang ang sakit naman nun. Nagtatrabaho ako sa hospital na ito. Tapos nagkaroon ako ng sakit dahil sa frontliner ako. Pero ako pa rin yung nagbayad ng test ko, ng bawas ba sa sweldo?
Hindi ko alam, mag-comment ka
Mag-comment na lang. Ayun. Pero you're very lucky na very supportive ang healthcare system pa rin at mahal na mahal pa rin kayo ng institutions and health and public health ng US.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it depends on the hospital. Kasi may mga ibang hospital din naman na, I don't know, tinitipid nila yung mga nurses. So that still happens here, but I would say not as rampant as it does in the Philippines. So.
Yep. Okay. So, yan, natanong ko na yun eh, kung will you consider moving to other countries?
Or going back.
Or going back.
Nung simula, oo, kasi parang, yun, narinig ko, New Zealand's handling it really well. Parang, alam mo yun, and for a little bit, parang, gusto ko doon para wala na akong problema sa buhay. But, alam mo, sa totoo lang, what's happening right now, it's parang parang mas lumakas yung resolve ko to go back to the Philippines. I don't know, is that weird? Kasi nakita ko kung ano yung nag-work dito. I know that it's doable and I wanna bring that over to the Philippines. I mean, I don't know how, alam mo naman ang politika dyan. But, diba? And that's actually why I'm in grad school right now. I wanna have a way to bring change. Is that weird?
No.
Diba?
Everyone wants to impart something to the world. Kahit ano pa yan, kahit maliit, malaki, hanggang may magagawa kang kabutihan, impart knowledge, additional
faith in humanity pa rin naman.
So, yun. Cringing moments you have experienced during COVID. Ano yung mga nagugulat ka na bagong sitwasyon para sa'yo or talaga namang nakakapikon, gusto mo na mag-walk out sa mga, nandiyan na yung cases sa harap mo eh.
Hindi naman, I mean, ewan ko sa ER kasi your first instinct is always to save someone. So, hindi pa ako nakaramdam ng gusto kong mag-walk out. Hindi pa ako nakaramdam ng ganun. It's always, kasi ER, you don't know what's gonna come in front of you. Madami na ako naging kaso of gunshot, stab wounds, 30 stab wounds. And I live in Baltimore. I lived in Baltimore for 5 years. Nung pinili ko yung Hopkins, it didn't really cross my mind na ano bang patient population ng Hopkins. Hindi ko ni-research yun. Magandang hospital yun. Doon ako. Hindi ko ni-research kung saan siya, anong mga pasyente tinitingnan nila. Hopkins is in Baltimore, and Baltimore is actually the 4th most dangerous city in the US. So.
Oh. Is it because of drugs? I think there's some other states. I watched that.
Yeah. Baltimore is called what is it? Heroin capital.
Yes, heroin. Yeah. Okay. Second to the last question, not really question, but do you have any advice for Filipino nurses who are aspiring in going to the US? I think we have a lot who have become USRNs and would want to fly immediately.
I would say, if you have the means to take the NCLEX, do it as soon as you can. Kasi mga states nag-iiba-iba na requirements yan. So, as soon as you can, if you have the means, you have the money, just do it. And alam mo yun, huwag kayong matakot na hindi mo alam yung sagot or baka bumagsak. Well, yeah, you have study, alam mo yun. Isipin mo lang masyadong mahal yung test para ibagsak. So, para
enough na motivation na yun, di ba?
Di ba ba?
Ayun. Was there a situation that ang nurses ba sa US and somehow have a voice in terms kasi sa Pilipinas
dito,
hindi sa Pilipinas muna.
Oo.
Lagi tayong sunod kay doc, ito yung sinabi sa chart, ganon. Pero
whereas dito sa New Zealand, may option ka kung bago ka magpa-check up, pwede ka magpa-check up sa nurse. And then pwede ka magpa-check up sa doctor na GP. Pero yung mga nurses, they can diagnose you and give you medicine. Whereas sa Pilipinas, parang
Go through the
katulong.
proper
I mean,
channel.
that's my opinion pero sa US ba ganun din?
No, so, kaya ako sinabi na, if you're a nurse, you're a nurse. The only time na ma-differentiate is if you go for an advanced degree. You're referring to a nurse practitioner.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
depende
that's
sa license. The more you study, the more you have, the wider your scope of practices. So kaya ganun. So they studied for that. Ang problema sa Pilipinas is walang legislation na pwede kang magkaroon ng nurse practitioner. So in turn, walang makagawa ng program for that.
Okay.
Yun lang. Wala talagang way. Kasi kung meron na akong kakilala, matagal na sa Pilipinas na nurse, pero hanggang doon na lang.
Yun siguro yung isa sa mga
Dapat
nilang
i-improve
take in consideration.
Oo.
Kasi sa Philippines, meron kang managerial track. You can go into education, may community health, may school. But that's about it. In terms of, yun nga, yung pagtaas ng scope of practice mo, wala.
Okay. So, lastly, do you have any shout-outs to your friends, colleagues, loved ones in the Philippines?
Sino ba? My school. Kasi tinulungan nila akong kunin yung transcript ko. Nahirapan ako nung COVID. So, Trinity, hi.
Okay.
Lahat yun through email. Sobrang natuwa ako. Kasi ang hirap talaga pag nandito ka sa US tapos hindi ka alam mo yun. Ayaw mo na wala.
Kahit din naman. Mahirap kumuha.
Lahat, they did it online for me. So, thank you.
Okay.
Then,
Your brothers.
Yeah, my brother. Meron kaming, medyo wrong timing kasi we did it during the pandemic, but it's up and running.
Mark Boy.
The brother's business, I invested in it. So.
Yan. You can order your pet supplies, Mark Boy. This is in the Philippines, correct? Yeah. Okay, in Las Piñas.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm flashing it right now. And yung range of prices, you can personally message us. We can send it to you. And ito yung delivery, in-house same day and Saturday delivery. So thank you so much, Erika.
Gisingin si Alan.
Sure. Yes, we can do a roundup and roll call later. Para we can say hello to everyone who's in the broadcast studio as well as your husband. And who's watching. So right now, okay, thank you so much, Erika, for that. We'll come back to you. Right now,
ito na, British accent na.
Ito na, start na. Medyo laliw tayo, British na tayo. Paano ba nasisimula?
Mag-British accent na tayo.
Hawaii.
Good day, Mike. Ay,
hindi, Australia na naman yan Anyway.
Mas malapit kasi Australia dito
Okay. So, she is a registered nurse in the UK. And she also migrated and has been employed in one of the hospitals in the UK. Let us welcome Samantha Jane Umang. Hi, Sam.
Hello.
How are you?
Good morning again. Sorry, good afternoon, yeah?
Good afternoon. Anong time na sa UK ngayon?
9:17 a.m.
Oh,
morning.
9:17.
Gising pala siya ng maaga today.
Yes.
Oo.
Thank you for being with us today, and for a short notice you have agreed to be with us. Ayan.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, Sam, gaano ka nakatagal sa UK since you have been deployed there?
Actually, it hasn't been long. I went here on November of 2018.
Yep.
Yeah, so I've started working by December after I passed the OSCE. So yeah, it hasn't been that long, really.
Okay. Kamusta naman ang COVID situation? Yun nga, going back, tumaas na naman daw, may resurgence.
Yes, well, recently, I think it's around 390,000 COVID cases for the whole of UK. So that includes England, London, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. So medyo mataas siya, and I think it's going up again recently. Yeah.
Okay. What hospital are you in? Nga pala?
I work at Wexham Park Hospital. It's about 30 minutes from central London.
Okay. London.
Yeah.
London. Okay, got it.
Yan tayo eh.
Na ano ako eh. Okay. Sam, were you a frontliner?
Actually, no. I would have been. Kaya lang last year, around April, I started getting sick. So
Okay.
I was really poorly for a while. So I was out of work for about 8 months last year. And when I came back, I was immunocompromised. So they had to put me in a non-patient role. That's why
Okay.
when COVID happened this year, I was already on a non-patient contact type of work. So
Mm-mm.
no, I'm not really a frontliner.
But
Okay.
you have friends and colleagues
Who
that were
Yes.
like,
So I live in a house with three other nurses, and they are frontliners. But they don't really handle COVID patients regularly.
uh,
Because there are some. Well, one of them is from OR, and the other
uh,
one is from oncology. So they don't handle COVID that much. But one of my housemates do handle query COVID patients before they get transferred to the ITU.
oo. So
Okay.
kailangan mo rin i-separate yung sarili mo sa kanila from time to time kasi nga immunocompromised ka. Oo.
And parang we have this policy at home na once they get home,
Yep.
they go directly to the shower, tapos they wash
Oo.
their clothes immediately, and they don't come to see me until nakapaglinis na sila, just to make sure, because I'm very immunocompromised. I had chemotherapy last year. I also had chemotherapy this year until May,
Oo.
Mhm.
so we have to be really careful.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Going to that experience that you had, um, malayo ka sa pamilya mo. And I know there was a time, if you can briefly share with us, I know I don't want to dig in deeper. I don't know if you're okay to share it. Just let us know. You can just maybe brush into it. Uh, what were your situation that time?
Yeah, so when I got here, I was very healthy. I had no, cause we had a very extensive medical before going to UK, so I was
Okay.
really like perfectly healthy. Yeah, so but suddenly last year around April, I started getting poorly, so I was hospitalized for about 2 weeks. Like I had to undergo a lot of diagnostics and um like different tests, including a kidney biopsy. So apparently, I was having
Mm-mm.
lupus nephritis, and it's an autoimmune disease.
Mm-mm.
And apart from like affecting my kidneys, it also
Yep.
affected my blood.
Okay.
So I was also diagnosed with autoimmune hemolytic anemia, and my hemoglobin was going down. So I was getting blood transfusions regularly. It even came to a point where I had to have blood transfusion every week. So basically, dugumbughaw na ako dito, no? Kasi I've already received a lot of bloods. But then, even despite the blood transfusions, my hemoglobin would still drop, like in dangerous levels.
Uh-huh.
So the doctors decided to give me chemotherapy. But then, my veins were very, like, I'm very difficult to bleed. So, for the chemotherapy, I had to put in a PIC line on my arm. And so I had the PIC line for a while, and that PIC line stays for a couple of months
Mm-mm.
while I was undergoing chemotherapy, and they just had to remove it towards the end of November because it got a bit of infection. But at that time, I was already stable because my chemotherapy last year was from September and or from August till September. So by the time the PIC line got infected and had to be taken out, I was already stable. And then I was able to go back to work by December. And
Balik
the
mo siya.
great thing here is my doctors, 'cause I had a lot of doctors, and they agreed for me to go back to work, but they requested for a non-patient contact type of work. And my
Mm-mm.
hospital was very much
Very-
happy to accommodate that. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
so
Yeah.
they tried to find a place where they can put me, and there's really honestly, I don't think there's really a job for a nurse here where you don't have any patient contact, but they tried
Contact.
to make that possible for me. which I'm very thankful for.
In your opinion,
Um,
no, kung sa Pilipinas siguro nangyari sa'yo yan, do you think makakabalik ka pa as a nurse?
no,
Or
I don't think so.
Medical
optimal health that you
Oo.
are in right now. Kasi, alam mo, Tita Trish, sinusubaybayan ko lahat ng updates tungkol kay Sam. And there was a time really that, I'm really sorry, but I thought we lost her. Was that true? You were almost
Yes.
on that brink
So
of...
just this June, because I was well for a while, and then I got a bit sick again around January. So towards the end of January, my doctors decided to give me another set of chemotherapy, which is
Yes.
a bit stronger than the one that they gave me last year. So they had to put in another line. So they put another pick line around January, but then by the end of Feb, it got infected again. So I was hospitalized for about a week. I had to take IV antibiotics for that.
Yep.
And after my IV antibiotic, COVID was already starting to
To ramp up.
you know to be really like extensive here in the UK. So the government has this policy about shielding. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but
No. You can share us a bit of...
basically yeah. So what they do is it's part of how they treat COVID, but it's more on protecting the vulnerable. So they try to identify vulnerable people or those that are immunocompromised like myself. And that includes older people and those undergoing chemotherapy and such. So I was identified as a vulnerable individual. So I was placed on shielding and I was asked to stay at home for about 12 weeks. But the
Wow.
good thing about that is I still get paid in full.
See?
So unlike
How...
in the Philippines, like imagine, I can just imagine if that happened to me in the Philippines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apart from paying for your own treatment and apart from paying for tests and everything that's involved with your healthcare, you won't get paid for staying at home. I mean, honestly. So
Honest. Yes.
um, when they asked me to stay at home, it was perfect because I just got out of the hospital at that time. So I stayed home for 12 weeks while I was still undergoing the rest of my chemotherapy. And then because my PICC line got infected towards the end of February, they had to insert a Hickman line, a
Oh,
central line here on my chest, which I've also had before. So I had that just so I can continue with the rest of my chemotherapy.
yep.
And the last chemo I had was towards the end of May.
Mm.
So we were already about to take out the Hickman line when I got really sick again. It was around 2nd of June. I
Yes.
was having fever and chills. It's been happening for a couple of days, and I disregarded it. I took paracetamol like frequently, just to mask the fever. But apparently, that's really a bad thing. So what happened was by 2nd of June, that was I think already the fourth day that I was having fever. I started having chills late at night, and I couldn't breathe. So I
Yes.
was already struggling for breath, and it's a good thing that my housemates heard me struggling, so they went in, called an
Buti na lang.
ambulance.
Oo, it's
Yeah,
good na may kasama ka sa bahay.
that's true. Sobrang perfect timing lang din that they were not at work at that time. Kasi
Oo.
otherwise, you know, who knows what would have happened. So, but I've already been struggling for like 15 minutes before they heard me. I was literally holding onto my carpet from the bed down to the carpet because I was struggling for breath. Um, and they called the ambulance. The ambulance came in really quick. They took me to the hospital. Initially, they thought it was COVID because the symptoms were very much similar.
Same. Yeah.
And then I was throwing up. I was having difficulty breathing, and I was having fever and chills.
Yes.
Then the last thing I remember was the doctor telling me that they had to bring me to the ITU and that they had to put in like a catheter. And after that, I don't recall the rest of the events until I woke up in the ITU a few days later. Apparently, I have been intubated for a few days.
Yun na yung nakita namin news. So we started
No.
pouring our prayers, lahat, support, especially nung nasa recovery and rehabilitation na siya and that
Mhm.
stage. So we messaged her and everything. So just a brief, do you think UK nurses in the UK, like the Filipino nurses in the UK, are well taken care of parating sa mga ganitong mga situations?
Okay. So there's I'm quite divided because for me personally, I've been benefiting from the government. Yeah. So I've been receiving great benefits in terms of like my hospitalization because I don't have to pay anything. And since I was also diagnosed with steroid induced diabetes, I have this certificate which allows me to get my medications for free, all of it, including my lupus medication. So I'm quite
Grabe.
happy with that. Yeah, and I'm very thankful that they have that kind of healthcare system here. But then honestly, the pay for nurses here in the UK is still lower than that of the nurses in the US or in Australia. That's why a lot of
Wow.
nurses here are still transferring to other countries, mostly in the US and Australia, because
Yes.
we still have one of the lowest pays, to be
Oo.
honest. But of course, it's not as low as in the Philippines, obviously. But
71 yata ang palitan. Or ewan ko,
now
mga
it's a bit
ganun.
lower. It's
Lower
61 now, so it's a bit lower now. But yeah, last year when I was new here, it was around 68, 69.
68
The
na.
yeah, yung palitan niya.
Ayun. So, um, yung suporta ng pamilya mo, malayo ka eh. So, was it a factor that gusto mo na bang umuwi? Alam mo yun, mahirap magkasakit. Laging si mommy ang tinatawag mo eh, or
Mhm.
ang parents mo. So, how did you cope without your family beside you? That's my second to the last question, yeah.
Mhm. Mahirap, honestly, because I've been like we're a tight knit family, and you know how
Yes.
Filipinos are, yeah. So we're very family oriented. So it was difficult, but then because when I was first diagnosed with lupus last year, my dad really wanted me to go home.
Yep.
Because it's quite difficult because the flight going here is very long, and it's not really the most affordable, isn't it? So um he wanted me to come home. But then for me, I was receiving one of the best cares I could get for free.
Yes.
And my medications are free. And all my doctors, especially since they know that I also work in the hospital, so they really take good care of me. Um, and I think I'm receiving good care here without having to pay so much. And when I think about being in the Philippines and being this ill, I don't think that I can manage with that. I think my parents would really have to spend a lot because if
Yes.
I was a nurse in the Philippines, I wouldn't have or I wouldn't earn enough to take care of myself. You know that, right? I mean, honestly,
Even
our salary is not even enough for a month's worth of food and everything else that we need on a daily basis if you're working in the Philippines, let alone if you're sick. So for sure, if this happened to me and I was in the Philippines, my parents would have to pay for everything, and I
Yes.
wouldn't want that to happen. So I would still. It's difficult not having my family here, but I'd still prefer to be
Be
here and stay here, given the situation. And there's always Facebook and
Oo.
video calls and all that. And I really have great friends here. So I'm quite blessed with having really good friends here that take care of me.
aasahan
So
mo.
oo, super super. Kahit na ilang months ko pa lang sila kilala.
Pilipinas mangyari yan. Even us here, we're just lucky na we were given a 3-year visa, but there are Filipinos, there are foreigners on a 1-year visa,
Who don't have any
Mhm.
coverage
or
with
even
the healthcare system of New
visitor
Zealand
visa. They would have to pay, and
from their own pocket.
kahit pahilang or na nagasgas ka,
Or call
and you have
out
to
ng
go,
ambulance. Diyos ko,
Yeah.
$800
or
yata.
even
ang
after office hours, if you're not a registered patient here sa clinic, you have to pay the after office hours payment, which is like around $250 for a consultation kung
Consultation.
nadapa ka man at gusto mo magpa-check. So you're very,
Yeah.
very lucky. I think hindi ko na itatanong kung gusto mo pa bang umuwi or okay ka na ba dyan. I think we would already know the answer.
Mm. Yeah.
So, what would be your advice to aspiring nurses who would be wanting to go to the United Kingdom. Kasi yan ang isa sa mga lugar na dream talaga ng mga nurses UK. Aside from Australia and the US.
Oo. Well, for me, mag-aral mabuti talaga, and try to get the experience that you need. Although right now, I think they already accept fresh grads because they're in so much need of nurses here.
They're really in need.
So right now, I think they are open to having fresh grads, but still try to get some experience in the Philippines. It's the culture and the training and the practice in the Philippines is not the same as here in the UK. There are definitely certain differences, but it's still good to be familiar with the practice. So you might still want to get some experience and try to take the examinations as soon as possible. Like what Erica mentioned earlier, habang fresh pa sa'yo yung information, mag-take ka na ng exams because it's more difficult if you let a few years pass and you'll have to review or you have to attend review sessions or seminars just to be able to refresh the information in your head, right? So do it as early as possible
Yes.
and make sure that you're prepared for the exams and for the interviews. There are actually different ways on how to get here, but when I went here, I um I had the services of an agency, and most agencies naman they don't really require payment upfront.
Yes. Oo nga.
Dapat
Um,
talaga ganun eh. Oo.
May nagsabi sa amin na yun na nga yung mode nila. Wala kang babayaran. So you can
Yeah.
easily mag-apply ka lang tapos take the
You
necessary
just have to find the right
agency to do it.
Oo.
Yes. Okay.
Oo, that's
So
true. So yun, yung mine is ASC. So if in case there are nurses watching, it's ASC.
Post natin.
They're really very helpful kasi they will push you. Ako kasi it took me a while to apply because I was so lazy. And ayoko yung pumipila sa PRC. You know how PRC is, yeah? So ayoko nang pumipila. So at that time, even if I've already taken IELTS a couple of times, and pwedeng-pwede na ako mag-apply, pero tinatamad akong kumuha ng mga document and all that. So, siguro yun, isa yun sa mga pinagsisisihan ko na hindi ako nag-apply agad. But
yes.
either way, I'm still here. I was still able to go here. So, dun sa iba, just make sure na mag-apply na kayo. And it helps to have an agency so they can push you
You're
into...
also protected, di ba? Sabi nga
Yes,
nila.
yes. Tapos they really help you. And hindi ka tatamarin kasi they will give you a timeline on what to do and when to accomplish things.
Yes.
And just make sure to get all the documents and certificates and do not fake anything for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of Filipinos who try to go to Quiapo just to get documents. That's not
UK,
going to help you in the long run.
UK, Canada, Singapore, New Zealand, and Australia have always been sharing information. So
para
you will
silang
not
may
be
mafia
able
eh.
to lie. And
Oo.
meron talagang napapauwi dahil nakikita na peke talaga ang pinapasa nila. So guys, don't even think
Try.
pa lang. Hindi na try eh.
Hindi na
Wag
uso-recto.
pumasok
Oo.
sa isip nyo na magpeke ng dokumento dahil wala na kayong credibility after that. Banned na rin kayo sa ibang bansa.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yun. All right. So, lastly, any shout outs to your family, friends, or if you want to plug in something that you do or your hobbies, anything?
So si Steph Claraval says she wanted me to say hi. So hi Steph. And all my friends from same school, mga klase friends natin. I'm very thankful sa mga batchmates natin because when I got sick in June, I received so many messages from our batchmates. They don't even ask questions. They just offer prayers and well wishes. So thank you so much to our Kulasa batchmates and all my friends in the Philippines and everywhere else in the world. And of course my family.
Yep.
And for those who are in Laguna, so I failed to send you the banner, April, but my brother, who's a chef, so he has this online like food service in Santa Rosa, Laguna, and
So we can promote it as well in our Facebook page.
yeah, I'll send it to you. I forgot about it, but it's the Fat Pot PH. They serve within the Laguna area. And
Yep.
sometimes they do serve in Manila pag may mga maraming orders, no? But yeah, it's the Fat Pot PH.
Okay.
Really good comfort food. They also serve, or they also sell butter beer and ginger ale. So for those who want to try it,
Oh, we'll try to
please
get
do
in
check out their
touch with
Facebook
you
page.
later on para makuha natin yung details.
Oo, kailangan natin
Yeah.
yung details ng brother.
sige.
At
I'll send it to you.
natin
Thank you.
agad yan. Ayun. So thank you so much, Sam. We really appreciate
you.
what you have shared today, your journey, your experience. Alam naming mahal, well taken care of ka by the UK government and their public health. So we salute.
Just be well.
Just be well.
Keep in touch.
Oo, keep in
Thank
touch
you.
talaga.
We'll travel soon.
Wow.
To the UK.
Ang layo, UK agad. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Later on. Thank you. All right. So going back, after natin pumunta sa Europe side, tayo naman ay pupunta sa Middle East. Okay. So, eto na, excited din ako. Dahil ngayon ko lang ulit siya nakita. Dalawa sila. Isa sa Oman at isa sa Dubai. So, we're gonna start off with Audrey Grace Veluz.
Hi!
Hi, Audrey. Kamusta?
Assalamualaikum ulit.
Oh, Assalamualaikum salam.
Yun ba yun?
Tama
Tama ba?
Waalaikum assalam.
Yun! Okay. So, let's get to the point.
Okay, sure.
Kamustahan? Kamusta ang Oman? Dahil usually ang forefront lagi ng mga news, Middle East, Dubai,
Oo.
Saudi Arabia.
Oman is in Qatar?
Yes, in Qatar.
Is
Tama
it?
ba?
Hindi separate country kami.
Yun, Qatar,
Doha.
Doha.
Patay na naman ang World Cup ko na yun.
Separate country kami.
Ng Oman tsaka ng Qatar. Oo, magkaiba.
Okay.
Kaya lang,
Oo.
So, yun. So, kamusta ang lagay ng COVID dyan? And share with us what's happening in the Middle East.
Well, as of last week, kasi they don't anymore do daily counts. Based on the records last week, we've already reached around 91,000 COVID cases. But I believe that, there's more. That we have a higher count of COVID cases kasi, I don't want to delve into the details, but iba na kasi ang case definition ng COVID dito. So not all the patients get tested, whether you're symptomatic or not. So, yun. I believe it's different for every country. So, dito kasi, iba na yung definition ng COVID testing.
Yes.
So, yung 90,000, around 91,000 cases, hindi, feeling ko more than pa. So, yun. COVID situation here in Oman, medyo mahirap kasi initially, as most countries naman, hit or miss talaga ang bira ng treatment at saka ng management sa COVID, management with regard to staffing and yung sa medically speaking. Yun. So, dumating kami sa point na yung mga nurses, kasi most hospitals dito under the government, yung malalaking hospital sa government, may maliliit din pero like mga interior hospitals na yun. Pero yung mga major hospitals are under the government, kaya parang isang ministry lang siya eh. So, they work na parang, ang ginawa nila, they took nurses from the interior sa regionals, pinadala nila sa city, para mag-cover doon sa, meron silang yung major na hospital doon. Ginawa nila, naglagay sila ng COVID ward talaga din doon, COVID ICU. Kasi yung naging center ng cases ng COVID dito sa Oman is nandun sa city. Ang pangalan ng city, Muscat. So, nandun halos lahat ng cases doon sa Muscat. Kasi city siya. So, nandun yung medyo heavily populated yung lugar. And yung mga mahihirap na cases, doon dinadala kasi mas may equipment sila and mas may staff din doon. With regard to yung dito naman sa sa hospital namin, I work in the regional hospital. And I got rotated in the COVID ward for 2 months from July to August.
Outsider din.
2 months akong, kasi lahat kami dito may chances of winning sa pagpasok sa
Ikaw na ang next isasala.
yes, ganyan, may bunutan. So ako noon, 2 months ako nasa COVID ward. Tapos, mahirap kasi, regional hospital kami and we have 3 intensive care units and we've already dedicated 2 intensive care units for the critical COVID patients. Isa na lang ang intensive care unit namin for the general critical na cases, pero for COVID, 2 na. And we've already closed 1 ward para sa COVID lang. The ward capacity is 32 beds, pero they're already reaching more than 20 patients per day. Hindi rin mabilis ang turnover ng patients or ang discharge ng patients kasi alam naman natin hindi rin madali mag-recover from COVID. Hindi siya parang one-day affair lang and then you get to go home and take your antibiotics at home, stay at home, ganon.
Meron siyang healing period, meron ka pa itetest ka pa ulit kung meron ka ulit, ganun yun, di ba?
Oo. Kaya, yun nga, hindi rin mahirap. Yung pagpasok din namin sa COVID ward, well, syempre matatakot kami for ourselves and for our families, for our friends na kasama namin sa bahay. Pero, wala parang dumating kami sa point na ang realization is talagang kung dadatnang ka ng COVID, dadatnang ka.
So, wala sa bunutan, ikaw na.
Medyo bunutan din, hindi naman. Pero kasi nagkakasakit na din yung mga staff dito. So, hindi mo naman masabi na bakit hindi ka naghugas ng kamay ng maayos or 'di ba? Hindi ka ba nagmask? For all we know, nasa COVID ward kami, yung mga staff din sa COVID ward naka full PPE pa kami, hazmat, mask, 2, 3, ganyan, hugas kamay and all. Pero nagkakasakit pa din. Ha?
Have you been tested? Like, kasi ako, na-test ako, simple flu lang yun kasi dito mahigpit. If you're working in a healthcare facility, once na nagkaroon ka ng flu or kahit anong symptom, diretso, swab agad. Ganon din ba dyan?
Oo. Kasi, especially if you work in the COVID ward, magkaroon ka ng konting symptom, parang, pwede ka nang magpunta sa ERN din, submit yourself para mag-test magpa-swab, gano'n. Pero, yun nga, hindi, ang tawag dito, hindi all the time parang gusto mo rin magpa-test. Parang matatakot ka din.
Hindi siya masaya.
Sabi nila, imagine mo, susundutin yung ilong mo hanggang doon sa dulo. Tapos,
alam ko, parang hindi ko na gustong ulitin. Yun.
Sabi nga nila parang nag-insert ka ng NG tube.
Yes. Parang in-intubate ng mini-mini lang.
Hindi ako makarelate.
Pinalabit yung kalangala mo hanggang doon sa loob.
Okay. Why, ito na. Why have you decided to work abroad?
It's not really parang single decision na aalis ako, gano'n. Noong una, ayoko pang umalis kasi parang naniniwala ako na kaya ko namang mabuhay sa Pilipinas nang hindi naman ako aalis. Kasi, mag-explain ako Kasi my dad is an OFW, was an OFW. And my mom, she used to work sa isang company. So, lumaki ako na parang walang parents masyado sa house. So, parang ayoko ng ganon for myself. Pero, nung nagtatrabaho na ako, tsaka feeling ko kaya namang mabuhay na madami namang nabubuhay na hindi naman kailangan mag-abroad, di ba? Pero, dumating ako sa point na, dadating ka din pala sa point sa sarili mo na mapapagod ka.
In terms of
mapapagod ka kasi nung nag-work pa ako sa Philippines, umabot din kami sa nagto 12-hour shifts kami kasi naging understaffed. 12-hour shifts. Tapos, 1 day off. Magka 2 days off ka, gintong-ginto na. Pero yung
You are with St. Luke's, Quezon
St.
City?
Luke's Global.
Global.
Oo.
I just
Global.
remember, dahil
Hindi kami nag-abot ni Marion.
kailangan
Ha?
check ka. Di ba yung BMI?
Uy, walang BMI doon. Kayo sa Singapore ang may BMI.
Oo, mahirap.
So, hindi ko alam anong purpose nila para mag-BMI.
May BMI. Sa Singapore may BMI. Kaya sabi ko, hindi ako pang Singapore.
Matindi ang Singapore nga sa BMI.
Kaya nga, Diyos ko po. Ayun. So, anyway, parang napagod ako. Tapos, yung dumadating ka sa point na kinakaladkad mo lang. Kasi naglalakad lang ako from St. Luke's noon, papuntang market, papuntang pauwi. Parang kinakaladkad ko na yung sarili ko pauwi. Kasi, pagod na ako.
Yun
Pagod
lang.
na ako eh. Tapos, yun, hindi ko na nakikita yung pamilya ko. Pero, naisip ko din yun na if I leave, mas lalo ko silang hindi makikita, di ba?
Oo, tama.
Yes.
Oo. So, kaya lang, parang, ang ngayon, you can't pour from an empty cup. Di ba? Pag ka na sa sarili mo, wala din. Wala ka rin may ibibigay sa iba. So, parang kinailangan ko din yun gawin para sa sarili ko.
Pero may love life na ba nun? Kaya naisipan.
Huwag na muna natin pag-usapan yan, di ba? COVID lang!
Diba?
Di ba? Should I stay or should I go? I've already left.
Okay. Highlight
Mamaya yan sa online chismisan.
Oo, pang-online chismisan yung mga ganyang topics. Lang muna tayo ngayon dito. Focus tayo.
Ayun. Highlight the benefits that nurses receive in the Middle East, especially in Oman, compared to the Philippines. I mean, this is just your opinion. What you have experienced, what the government has given you. Ano yung kaibahan? So gusto natin malaman, lalo na yung mga marami kasing nurses sa Middle East talaga eh. So we can all relate na sa mga kwento nila. Pero coming from Audrey, ayan, coming from you, let's hear it.
Benefits of working here in Oman, well, nagtatrabaho kami dito and sumusweldo na wala kaming masyadong taxes. So, hindi ko masasabi na akin lang lahat. Siyempre, may pinupuntahan naman yung pinagtatrabahuhan ko. Pero, yun. So, kung gusto mo mag-save, makaka-save ka. And kung gusto mo meron kang maipundar, meron kang babayaran every month para magkakaroon ka ng something in the end, kaya mong gawin yun.
Free accommodation. Free accommodation for nurses, healthcare workers. Dati meron yan.
It depends din. It depends din sa hospital mo. Pero nowadays, hindi na sila nagpapa-free accommodation. We have, ang tawag dito, may allowance kami para sa bahay. Pero kaya yun, meron kaming option na kung gusto namin na kung saan kami bahay titira. So, yun.
In terms of culture, hindi ka nahirapan mag-adjust.
In terms of culture kasi, well, as you know, Arab country to and majority of the population are practicing Islam. So, yun ang medyo kailangan naming paghandaan nun before kami pumunta. And actually, hindi na rin naman ako masyadong, nanibago ako nung ako na mismo yung nandito. Pero, kasi yung dad ko nandito din before. So, parang alam ko na meron akong idea na kung how people live here. And, kung paano sila, paano yung mga practices nila dito, ano yung mga dapat tsaka hindi dapat. Ganon. So, nung ako na, parang, okay, ito na yung I'm living it already.
Ikulong mo.
Ako pala, sige, huwag ka na idamay. Kasi knowing Middle East, there's always been a fear na nakakatakot magtrabaho sa Middle East. Did you feel the same? Like, marami kasing, okay, this is a real talk conversation. Marami ang nare-rape, napapagsamantalahan.
Babae or lalaki, yes.
Iniiwan. So, what's your take on it? Is it really happening based on mga kakilala mo or ng mga news dyan?
Nangyayari talaga siya. And hindi siya news as in news like on yung television.
Oo.
Hindi siya na-broadcast na gano'n. So, parang sasabihin lang kunyari merong expatriate of Asian nationality na found ganyan. Most of the time, hindi nababalita yun. Or parang ang balita vague lang, parang found ganyan. Pero hindi talaga eh. Malalaman mo lang parang sa, well, chismis. Parang sabi-sabi lang na ganito, oy, alam nyo ba, ganyan, ganyan. Makakaabot yan. May matindi yung network eh. So, ganon. Meron talaga ding balita na ganyan. Pero hindi siya kasing, wala akong facts na ano para ma-compare. Pero, mas maraming balita na ganyan sa iba. Hindi masyado dito.
Being a frontliner.
Kasi ano naman dito, medyo open yung country.
Yep.
We're allowed to go anywhere. Pero we're allowed to go anywhere. Walang restriction naman. Pero dapat mag-observe ka pa rin ng tamang pananamit and all. Kasi feeling ko universal naman na merong manyak, ganon, or may magta-try na mang-manyak, mang-molesta, mang-abuso sa'yo.
Yes.
Pero kasi, it's a different world out here. Hindi mo pwedeng ipaglaban yung mga rights na gusto mong ipaglaban kasi in the Western or in the really modern world. Kasi, kasi nga Islamic ang beliefs. So, ang babae dapat ganito, ang lalaki dapat ganyan.
Okay.
So, pag sinabi, ang babae dapat ganito lang ang bihis. So, ito ka dapat. Alam mo yung parang, pwede ka magdamit ng kung anong gusto mo as long as you won't expose your shoulders, you won't expose your knees, your legs, ganyan. Tamang decency siya. Alam mo yung, pag nagdamit ka ng hapit na hapit, may pambili ka naman ng pang next size, di ba? Alam mo yung ganon. So, magiging kasalanan mo, parang ang lalabas, kasalanan mo, pagka ikaw yung naagrabyado.
Okay.
Kasi, alam mo yung parang ikaw yung pa-display.
Mahirap nga yun. Na
ikaw yung pa-display, alam mo namang hindi dapat.
Sa bahay na lang, ganon, libre sa bahay.
O, sa bahay or yung mga with friends, ganyan, or nasa private kami na area na, kunyari may hall or gano'n. Basta bahay, ganyan, okay lang kami. Pero pag sa labas, kailangan tamang bihis lang.
So, are you a frontliner? Yes, you are. And any eye-opener in performing your job? May mga bago ka bang naranasan on top of the experience you had in the Philippines? Just a brief one.
Dito, siguro yung sa practice na lang na with regards sa male and female interaction.
Okay.
Kasi like if dyan sa Pilipinas, kunyari pag nag-rounds tayo, talagang nag-rounds yung doctor, kailangan kasama naman talaga tayo. Pero dito kasi, kailangan kasama ka kasi karamihan ng doctors, lalaki. Tapos, I work kasi in the female medical ward. So, pag ang doktor lalaki, so med-surg ward yun. Medical ward siya mainly. So, pag ang doctor lalaki, hindi masyadong accepted. Hindi sila na lalaki mag-isang mag-examine dun sa babae. Kahit na sabihin na natin na doctor siya.
Kailangang masunod. Oo, tama naman. Kung usually Middle Eastern countries would follow that. Kahit naman sa tirahan, iwala yung babae. Okay, oo.
Hindi, tsaka kasi dito, they do, kahit simple rounds lang na, kunyari, visit na lang, they do a full examination as in auscultation, tapos pati tiyan, ganyan, ipapalpate and all, binte, hawakan, full, ganyan, mula head to toe talaga, ganun. Hindi yung parang, kung anong sakit mo lang, kunyari, you come in with pneumonia, i-auscultate lang yung chest mo, hindi ganun, buong katawan, ganun sila lagi, mula ulo hanggang paa, every time. Hindi siya parang isang lang. Kaya kailangan pag mag-examine yung male na doctor sa female na patient, kasama ka. Kasi mag-expose ka ng body parts.
Yes, okay. Were there any regrets at some point?
Leaving Philippines?
No.
As a nurse
in general, in Oman and in the Philippines, were any regrets that you are in this profession?
Pag napapagod lang ako.
Doon ka nagpe-vent na parang,
Feeling
ba't
ko
ko ba
na-experience ko din naman yun. Alam mo yun, syempre, pag yung drained ka na physically and mentally, like, more on physically kasi yung trabaho din namin. Pero mental din kasi for most of my shifts, I'm working as the shift in charge. So, hawak ko lahat. Mula pasyente from 1 to hanggang dulo, hanggang pati staff hawak ko, pati yung may sirang bed, may leaking na ceiling, may ganito sa banyo. Lahat yon sa akin during the shift. Tapos staffing pa ng incoming na shift akin pa din, or yung lahat. Kung may patient escort sa ibang hospital, transport sa ibang hospital, akin lahat yun. So parang kailangan kong may handle din akong patient, hindi lang ako basta shift in charge na nakaupo lang na pa-computer lang. May hawak akong patients, may hawak ko yung ward, hawak ko lahat. So, parang dadating din talaga ako sa point na parang ayoko mag-function. Kaya dito naman, in Oman, pag umuwi kami, may work-life balance siya kasi talaga pag umuwi kami, pahinga talaga ako. Kung gusto ko humilata all day, hilata ako all day.
Okay. So, last question. Sa tingin mo, where will be your next journey? Ay, may ganon. Pag nagsawa na, where will be your next journey?
Nakapili
Hindi
ka
ako
na ba?
madali magsawa eh.
Australia, New Zealand, yan.
Susunduin mo ba ako?
Why not? Sakay tayo ng camel.
Sunduin kita dito. Hindi ko pa alam kasi sabi mo nga, yung pag nagsawa na, hindi ako madaling magsawa sa trabaho. Parang mapapagod lang ako, pero papasok ako ulit. So,
Okay.
kung feeling ko yun yung isa sa mga qualities na nakuha ko sa parents ko, parang gano'n. Kaya, ang tawag dito, kung yung sa next journey ko, hindi ko alam. Kasi parang ang goal ko lang this year matapos tong taon to na buhay pa ako. Alam mo yun? Buhay ako, buhay yung pamilya ko, gano'n. Kasi hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin ko Parang, ang hirap naman, parang nagmamanage tayo dito ng ganito ng COVID. Tapos lilipat ako, let's say, papuntang UK, Ireland, yan yung mga usual na or America, what. May COVID din naman doon. So, parang, alam mo yun, kaya...
Wala dito.
Wala sa South Island.
may second wave kayo, ano?
Kami bukas. Baka
abangan
normal,
yan.
na kami.
Baka mag-back to normal na kami
Back to
bukas.
normal na kami.
Ano na rin naman kami dito Wala na kaming quarantine and all. So, bukas na rin lahat. Ano na lang, social distancing, mga ganong bagay na lang. Wala na kaming curfew and quarantine, ganon.
Okay.
Anyway, pero yun nga, hindi ko sure.
Alright.
Gusto ko lang mabuhay muna till the end of the year.
Makes sense.
Makes sense nga.
And then let's see. Kasi, parang ayoko din ma-pressure na gusto kong mag-ayos ng something tapos may nangyayaring ganito sa mundo.
At the end of the day,
mag-asikaso ng mga
papeles
papers
ngayon. Wala na nakuha sa Pilipinas.
Oo.
So, any shout-outs to your friends, colleagues, and family in the Philippines and in Oman right now, and your
to my family in the Philippines. My family in the Philippines. Nanonood silang lahat ngayon. Tapos,
si G for fun, friend. Shout out to my famous friend, Audrey. Ikaw to, sure ako. Di ba?
Oo, si Jai for fun. Nasa, yan. Mabuting kaibigan ko yan. Nasa UK. Kanina pa ako inaabangan Sabi niya.
Thanks for watching.
Saka, yung isa sa mga first na nag-reply talaga na sabi niya, Madam, shout out mo ko. Si JR Robis from UAE.
Wow!
Yan. And saka si Steph Clarabal, she's watching now. Si Jackie Yupanco, mga batchmates natin in high school.
Hello,
and
Jackie.
yung mga friends ko dito, ha?
Jackie, birthday niya, di ba?
Birthday niya kahapon, di ba? Tinupad ko yung pangako ko, naka-red lipstick ako today. Buburahin ko na ito mamaya kasi mapasok na ako
Hindi ko madalas.
Hindi tayo ganito umaura sa ospital. Hindi to totoo.
Ako, ballpen at cellphone, bye. Ganon, wala na lipstick.
Walang ganyan.
Ayun. Thank you so much, Audrey.
Thank
and
you din.
catch up on you
Pasok na
later.
ako Di na ako masali sa
Ay,
robot.
oo nga pala, may
Have a good
duty.
shift.
Have a good shift and ingat.
Thank
Doble
you.
ingat.
Thank you. Good luck and God bless everyone.
Thank you from Titas of the South.
Thank you din sa inyo ha. Thank you for remembering me.
Woo! All right, ingat.
Thank you. Sige, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys.
Eto na.
Eto na.
Hindi pa ito yung pambitaw. May isa pang pangbitaw mamaya, pero
Eto, pinaghandaan niya talaga to. Nakikita ko na siya ngayon.
oh,
Todo na to.
hindi kami nag-background para sa iyo, te, ha? Ikaw na yung may magandang
Gumawa na siya ng
background.
paraan. Okay, let's welcome Minette Javier, ang ating author as well. Meron siyang libro and it was launched in Dubai. So she's in the UAE right now. Hi, Minette. How are
Hello!
you?
Hi, Titas of the South. Yes, tanda na.
Oh, nga. Collab soon.
Oh, yes, sure.
Oh, ayan na. Ayun yung susunod na.
Oh, kalahin mo yun, may kaartehan ka pala sa katawan. Hindi mo ma-realize. Kailan tumanda.
Oh, yun.
Kinabog yung background natin,
Oo nga eh.
Kaya ako.
Kami
Oo.
sa lang, saka yung mga ano, ayan.
No. Then, hindi planado yan.
Ay,
Hindi.
hindi pa planado yan.
Oo. Yan. Ganyan talaga siya.
Okay, Minette. Just start off, kamusta? Kamusta dyan sa Dubai?
Dito, okay naman. Ano ba? We're keeping our fingers crossed na sana we won't reach the second wave. Kasi ang nangyari was nung height.
Sa bagay.
Ha?
Huwag tayo magsalita ng tapos. Yun din yung
Oo.
prayer natin dati eh.
Oo, kasi nung height nung COVID, nung March, April, May, June, there was really that strict implementation of rules, yung talagang lockdown, tapos home quarantine, tapos curfew, na talagang nag-comply lahat. Hindi dahil sa takot sa COVID, kundi dahil dun sa takot sa penalty. Kasi imagine, let's say, makita ka lang na walang mask, pwede kang ma-fine ng 1,000 dirhams. Ganun. So 1,000 dirhams, pag inano mo yan, kinonvert mo, mga ano yan, nasa 14 or 13 to 14,000 pesos. So ang tao hindi nag-comply dahil sa doon sa virus doon sa pera. Doon sila nag-comply. So ang penalty is hindi lang sa individual. Kumbaga the whole company can also be penalized, like 50,000 dirhams for like, let's say, pinapasok mo lahat ng employees wherein dapat mga 20% lang sa kanila ang dapat na nasa office, parang ganun. So may ganung fine. So talagang nasunod yon. However, nung July, parang first or second week ng July, maybe due to economic reasons, nag-open sila and ayun, bumalik ang tao, nakapagpasyal-pasyal ulit, ganon. The problem is hindi nga lang naging compliant. Yun. Ang problema kasi dito sa Dubai, talagang kumbaga open city, tas open lahat ng mga parks, ganyan. So back to normal, pati yung cinema. Ang Mulan, guilty as charged, nagpunta ako agad sa cinema para manood ng Mulan, di ba? Ganun. So, di ba? Tapos, rin, yung sa cinema, in fairness, rin sila, may social distancing. But anyway, so yun yung problem, parang sabi nung sa crisis management dito, parang we might just have the second wave, so people really have to comply. So, strict pa rin sila, pero minsan nakakalusot.
I forgot to ask you, what hospital are you in Dubai right now?
I'm working in Latifa Hospital, Women and Children. Latifa Hospital, covering women and children talaga. So, yun. It's a government hospital under Dubai Health Authority.
Under government pa rin. So, were you a frontliner?
Frontliner, I was. Ganito yan kasi parang nahati. Yung Latifa kasi, it's a non-receiving hospital. Okay. So, you mean to say, it means na kapag non-receiving hospital, hindi kami basta-basta nag-a-admit na mga patients na just in case, kaya ito, pandemic, ganon. Meron kaming parang directive from the main headquarters na let's say may malaking like outbreak ganon, mag-a-admit pa rin kami pero they have to be stable patients and mga neonates na mga 1 to 28 days lang women, mga buntis, mga nanganak, and may mga gynecological cases, ganon.
Yes.
But the problem was sobrang, yun nga, dahil dumami ang dami ng mga pasyenteng nag-positive, the hospital has no choice but to receive even male patients. Ganon. So, pati yung ICU namin, talagang we were forced to open it to male patients. Ganon. So, umabot talaga sa ganon yung sitwasyon. And for me, yung like sa ward ko, marami kami sa ward eh. May mga iba sa amin na nag-volunteer talaga. Nag-volunteer sila na ma-deploy sa ibang hospital. But in my case, pwede ka mag-volunteer.
Sa New Zealand, nung level 4 kami, kung nasa isang facility ka or in my experience, hindi ka pwede mag-cross sa iba kasi that is to
Pwede makahawa.
Oo, pwede makahawa and mahirap mag-contact tracing at that point. So if you're in a facility, specific facility, you will be staying in that facility all throughout. So kahit yung mga agencies na nagde-deploy ng nurses sa mga community homes, disability, o yung mga on-road, naka-wheels, hindi rin sila pinayagan. So isa yun sa mga affected industries dito. Good thing na yung facility ko, dun lang ako. So, ang pag-iingatan ko lang is when I go to the supermarket, I only go once in a while. So, limit the exposure.
Oo,
So, yun
tama.
lang sa amin.
So, yung mga kasama ko, naging frontliner talaga sila. Like, for 2 to 3 months straight, nasa ibang hospital. And then, may accommodation din na provided para sa kanila. For me, I could have volunteered. But the problem was, nung mga around November last year, parang nagpa-consult ako sa doctor and I am borderline diabetic. Parang gano'n. Tapos, meron din ako parang issue sa immune system ko. Na parang nagkaroon ako ng parang viral disease na hindi naman sobrang, nothing serious, pero it only goes to show na ang immune system ko bagsak. So, nung time na yun, I was under treatment and then dumating nga tong pandemic. So, timing kasi I was ongoing treatment. Kumbaga parang I'm on my way to recovery. So, sabi ko, ang dasal ko lang was maging prepared lang yung katawan ko just in case mangyari yon. So, anong nangyari, nagsaya ako dun sa ward ko kasi walang may iwan ganun. Kasama ako dun sa mga naiwan. However, if they need a staff for that COVID ward, tinatawag ako. And yun, mga siguro in a month, mga 2 to 3 times na bumaba ako dun sa ward na yun to take care of COVID positive patients. Yun. So, I was a frontliner, but not as exposed tulad ng mga kasama ko.
Kasama mo, oo. Okay.
So since nung nagkasakit ka, was it also public healthcare funded by the government?
I mean, are you under the healthcare system of the government na libre lahat?
Nung time na yun, actually nasa bakasyon ako sa Pinas. So yung consultation ko sa Pinas, parang ganun. So actually, I didn't really inform them about it. Hindi lang talaga ako nag-volunteer na talagang active na, ay mag-volunteer ako, mag-aalaga ako ng mga positive patients. Hindi, parang I just kept quiet. Pero parang kung tawagin para mag-duty, go. But like to really put myself out there na gusto ko mag-ano ko ng COVID positive, hindi na. Hindi ako.
I mean, let's be honest. Are you afraid to be in the front, ikaw yung nasa firing line
Ganito yan parang kumbaga sa battle, 'di ba? Dami yung soldiers, 'di ba? Ganyan. Andun ako sa gitna. Frontliner lahat frontliner lahat yan. Andun ako sa gitna. So parang yun yung kalaban. So nababalitaan mo yung mga nurses na naka-hazmat, mga ganyan. Andun ka pa sa gitna. Then eventually, fire. Alis na sila. Nakalaban na sila. Ngayon, it's my turn na. Parang gano'n. Gano'n yung feeling na parang, oh my God, ito na. Talagang napadasal talaga ako. Oh Lord, bata pa ako. Ikaw na bahala sa akin. Parang gano'n. Talagang doon ka talaga mapapadasal na parang Lord, ano pa? Ang dami ko pang gustong gawin. Gano'n. So talagang you really resort to prayer. And yun lang talaga Kasi tama nga si Audrey kanina, sabi niya parang, kahit na naka full PPE ka pa, kahit na sa tingin mo parang you've done that proper hand hygiene, kung talagang tatamaan ka talaga. Yun. So talagang dasal-dasal lang talaga ako nun. Yun.
So, ano yung mga benefits na kaibahan sa ibang Middle Eastern countries na meron sa Dubai when it comes to nurses? And also comparing
benefits.
with Philippines as well.
Well, ang masasabi kong benefit is, ito naman, I think common sa Middle East, is yung talaga makukuha mo yung salary mo ng buong buo. Yun, buong buo talaga siya. Wala siya yung mga parang sa Pinas na bawas sa SSS, bawas sa pag-ibig, di ba ganyan. Wala kaming gano'n. So, makuha mo siya ng buo, walang delay, and wag na natin pag-usapan ng amount, di ba? Gano'n. People say that it's a lucrative job, parang gano'n somehow. But basta yun na, alam na natin yun. So, I think it's one of the reasons kung ba't din nag-abroad ako. So, yun yung benefit, hindi siya nadidelay. And then, when it comes to us employees, meron kaming insurance coverage na like would cover up to 500,000 dirhams. Yun yung coverage ng
Just in case.
malaki convert mo sa kahit nga peso nga malaki na yun, 'di ba? So yun. Ganun siya kalaki. And yun nga hindi na di-delay, and then kami like under Dubai Health Authority, ang benefits namin, maraming mga perks na hindi lang related sa hospital or sa healthcare. Like talaga sa mga recreational areas. Ganun, may mga discount, yun yung mga benefit na, alam mo yun, hindi natin nakikita or nararamdaman sa Pinas. Wala sa Pinas na ganun. And like yung mga training, like every year, we are bombarded. Like as in literal na bombarded ka ng training. Wala kang choice. Oh, like in a year, like you would have around 2 to 3 classes or mga seminars. Ganun. And mandatory yun. Kailangan mo ipasa.
Mandatory din yung further education kasi 'di ba nagpapalit-palit din naman ng system ang mga hospitals. Actually ngayon, ewan ko, ito kasi syempre first aid. I went for a first aid refresher. Yung Heimlich maneuver, hindi na pwede dito yun. Tinanggal na dito yun. Iba na. Chest thrust na ang allowed dito.
Chest thrust.
So, it really pays to get a refresher, retraining, or
so iba-iba rin talaga.
Oo, kasi nag-iiba talaga ang nila, ang patakaran nila. And with that, do you have any regrets in working abroad? Kasama na dyan ang why did you work in abroad, syempre. Pinag-isa ka.
Ganito yun kasi nag-start yun in 2004, di ba? Gumraduate tayo ng high school, 2004. And after that, I really didn't know kung ano ang course na kukunin ko. Parang ganun. That's the problem. So, my parents were really pushing me to become a nurse. So, may iyakan dyan. Ayoko talaga. Parang gano'n. Sabi ko, pambihira. Ayoko talaga. Kasi that time, parang the only thing na sinasabi ko sa sarili ko is gawin ko na lahat. Wag lang ako mapasok sa ospital. I think, nadidepress ako that time. Parang ayoko pumasok sa hospital, nakaka-depress. Ayoko yung amoy na parang kahit saan may alcohol. Alam mo yung gano'n. Pero, yun lang, sobrang kinonvince ako ng parents ko na parang, sige na, i-go mo na yan kasi nga nurses will be in demand in the year 2020. And pag narinig mo yung sentence na yun, nurses will be in demand in 2020, ngayon mo na siya mararamdaman na talagang in demand talaga ang nurses. So yun, parang I didn't really agree nung una, but ang nag-trigger sa akin was, ang sabi ng mommy ko, sige na, mag-nursing ka na, mag-nurse ka na, mag-ipon ka, and then after that, do what you want, bahala ka sa buhay mo. So yun yung parang, sige, parang gano'n. So yun, nag-aral ako, nung bandang 4th year ko na, pag-graduate na ako, siguro parang naisip ko, wala naman ako ibang gagawin. Mag-aaral na lang ako. Pagbutihin ko na lang, parang gano'n. So what I did was, inigihan ko, nagsipag na lang din ako kahit na kasumpa-sumpa minsan yung mga RLE, yung mga duty, gano'n. Ayoko, nung time na yun talaga, yung katawan ko, yung psych ko, hindi siya ready na magbigay ng patient care that time. Pero naisip ko, sige, parang might as well do my best. Kasi yun na nga, that is what I have at that moment, yung education ko. So, luckily, nung 4th year, sabi nila, merong opening sa US. Parang ganun. And I was one of the chosen few na magtatrabaho sa Amerika. And finance na nila yung yung IELTS, yung mga ganun.
Wow.
So excited ako. So
kasi
sobrang
pabayad ngayon eh.
Oo, wala, hindi nila, kasi may nag-sponsor. It's not an agency eh. Parang agency, ganun. So sabi nila, automatic may secured na ang employment nyo sa ganitong hospital. It's a tertiary hospital, parang ganun. And then after 2 to 3 years, fly na kayo to US. Yun na nangyari. But the problem, that was in 2008. Eh di ba recession yun eh. So nagsara ang Amerika, and third batch ako na itong ilaalagaan nilang dun sa agency. Yung first batch and second batch, hindi sila nakaalis ng bansa. So na-stuck kaming lahat dun sa ospital na yon. Yun, so, yun. And then eventually, nakita ko yung, siguro 4 or 5 years na yung nakalipas, nakita ko yung mga kabatch ko, yung mga classmates ko, nag-a-abroad na. And alam mo yung social media, nainggit ako. Sabi ko, gusto ko ako din. Sabi ko, gusto ko mag-abroad na rin ako. Parang gano'n. Then na-excite ako, parang gano'n. So, yun na rin yung reason ko din. And then, ayoko na rin na pabigat din sa family kasi minsan hinahatid pa ako papunta from Taguig to Manila, ihahatid pa ako. Parang nahiya na ako sa parents ko.
Kami nung grade school.
Oo,
kabasmate ko, diba? Oo, Laguna kami, Laguna girls. You know, Titas of the South talaga, literally.
Laguna, tas ako Muntinlupa.
Yes.
Tas lumipat ako ng Taguig, mga grade 4, yun. So, yun yung reason. So, kung may regret man, I think, wala naman. Sabi nga din nila, di ba, parang regret kapag ka napapagod, pag nabu-burn out, gano'n. So,
pero babangon
babangon ka lang din. Kung iiyak mo lang siya. Iiyak mo lang siya. Hingang malalim, gano'n.
How did you
pero it
cope
will
up?
pass.
How did you cope up with loneliness without family? Kasi, close kayo ng mami at daddy mo eh. Diyos ko, nung sinusundo yan sa bahay nila, talaga namang si daddy, si mami, yung talagang
Oo.
bus.
Kulang nila sumama sila eh, di ba? So, okay na naman, nakaka-adjust na rin ako. Nakakatawa lang kasi yung mommy ko ngayon, siya, parang yung schedule niya is naka-align sa Dubai. Sabi ko, migising ka pa, 4 o'clock na dyan, 12 midnight pa lang dito. So, ganun yung nangyari. And to cope with loneliness, I think you just have to, it begins with the mind. You have to really change your mindset. Kasi if you see this, if being an OFW is seen as something that is a lonely journey, hindi ka talaga magiging masaya. Instead, you can be alone but not necessarily lonely, di ba? Parang and you can be, pwede ka maging mag-isa, pero you can be surrounded by people, pero you can still feel lonely, di ba? Then that time, I thought na lang na parang, ano bang meron ako? I have time, and I have somehow enough money to begin something na yung passion ko, pwede kong masimulan. And then, doon, I found out na, mahilig pala ako mga sulat-sulat, ganyan. Until I realized na, try ko na lang magsulat ng libro, parang gano'n. And then, may opening, parang online course na how to write a book. So, yun. Nagsulat na lang ako ng libro. Yun. So, isa yun sa way ng pag-cope ko. And second is you really have to be open-minded and to open yourself up to friendship na pwede mong ma-form, hindi lang sa Pinoy, kundi sa ibang lahi din.
Sa ibang lahi. Kasi, kumbaga kami, okay, let's be honest, being matagal na ng OFW, alam na namin makisama sa mga Pinoy, alam na namin na yun yung gathering, it's always been the same. So, what we tried right now is to expose ourselves in different nationalities. Sige, sabihin natin mga Kiwi, European, kasi we learn something new. Hindi lang always circle of friends of Filipinos, yung culture nila. You get a lot of information and insights then. So, it's good that siguro maganda yung benefit na nakakasalamuha ka ng ibang lahi. Di ba?
Totoo yan. Totoo. Kumbaga, different strokes for different folks. Ganun.
Yes. Then, so, what were you writing before again? Were you in a Toastmasters club?
Tama ba? Oo nga pala. Oh. Yes, I was in a Toastmasters club. Kasi parang, dito kasi sa Dubai, hindi kami, like, dito sa UK and sa US, na parang ang English talagang, parang wow, talagang standard ng English nandun eh.
Yes.
Here, hindi ganon. So, kung kakausapin naman ng pasyente, hi ma'am, have you taken your breakfast? Titignan ka lang nun, di ba? So, straight to the point, di ba? Have you eaten? May ganon-ganon. So, English ka. Yun na yun, sign language. And then, parang, yung ganito, ibig sabihin, wait. Yan, wait. Dito, wait.
Dito, ang one is, do a urinate. Ang number 2, have you done your number 2s? That's bowel motions. Yun ang tawag dito.
Yun. So, na-realize ko lang na parang gusto kong ma-maintain yung, alam mo yun, proficiency mo sa English language, I think. Kumbaga, skill din yan eh. Pag hindi mo nagamit, pwedeng mapurol. Oo, pupurol siya. So, yun, I joined that club.
Kami, from
8 to 5. Tawang-tawa yung mga office mates ko pag sinasabi ko yun, halimbawa merong function or merong after 5 na mga gathering. Tawang-tawa sila pag gino-joke ko yun eh. Either sabi ko, lasingin nyo ako, o bukas hindi ako mag-English, mauubos yung English ko ngayon. Bentang-benta sa kanila yung joke na 8 to 5 lang English.
Limited.
8 to 5, limited. Hanggang ganitong oras lang.
Yes.
Yun.
So sila
Yun.
na
And
yung
it is fun. Oo. Yun, masaya ang Toastmasters. Actually, isa yun sa club na parang, talaga, yung positive lang, enjoy. Parang gano'n. Doon ko nalabas yung kumbaga yung sense of humor na meron ako. Doon ko nalabas kasi like, pwede ka
Kahit naman before pa eh. May sense of humor ka na talaga. Even
ayun, doon ko nalabas yung speech ko na nagkukwento ako ng English na comedy. And I'm proud to say na somehow they like it and I've had these awards ng best humorous speech, ganyan. So sabi ko, di bali na mukhang tanga, di bali na pangit mo ako, basta natawa sila, parang gano'n. And it paid off.
Wow, bago
And it paid off. Yun, gano'n. So, actually, international club siya. So, meron din, alam ko, sa US, sa ibang country din, yun. So aside from my job, meron kang passion.
Very active si Miss Amor de la Cruz. Lagi siya nakakakuha ng awards being in a Toastmaster sa Dubai again. Basta yun. These are English teachers, you can recall. And I just want to know, where or what will be your next journey? Yan yung mga, hindi tayo laging nasa OFW, state, gusto natin mag-settle down. Where will it be or how will it be? What will it be?
Paano ba? Kasi right now, to be honest, hindi ko pa din alam.
Love life? Meron, love life?
Oo, may nabiktima ako. Diba?
Nabudol.
Parang, uy, malungkot ako, halika dito. Ayun. Effective. Konting makeup, tsaka nakabingwit ako. Hindi, joke lang. But no, seriously, that was a blessing. So, pag-uusapan natin yan sa online chismisan. But that is one aspect of my life that I'm really thankful for din yun. So anyway, ibang usapan yun. But right now, sabi din ni Audrey, hindi siya sigurado. Ganon din ako. Kasi, to be honest, kung lilipat ka din ng ibang country or na state, may COVID.
Crazy Crudes are watching. Maya Echo, great flow of conversation. Well done, Net Javier. Diba?
Mga bayad yan eh. Mga binayaran. Yun. So, yun. Kasi hindi ko pa alam.
I mean, going back, hindi pa din daw niya alam.
Hindi ko pa din alam. Basta so far, naano ko siya. Hindi naman siya na-enjoy. Parang so far, everything is into place pa. Kumbaga, doing well naman.
Sa career mo.
So, okay pa siya. Hindi pa naman ako yung todo burnout. From time to time, normal naman sa healthcare worker na ma-burnout, yung para magsisi, para ba't ba ako nagganito? Diba? Gano'n. Pero pag titignan mo, a lot of people are actually losing their jobs. Diba?
Right now. Yes.
Walang silang trabaho. And here I am. Every day, I wake up na parang thankful ako sa opportunity and I have to take care of it. So, wag na ako magreklamo. Choosy pa eh. Parang gano'n. Diba? You have to be thankful. Yun. Yeah. So, right now, enjoy ko muna.
Yung book
shout
niya.
Out.
And then, shout out to your family, friends. Ayun. Let us know. So, give us a picture of the book. So, ipopost natin yan.
Ito. Hinawak. Ito siya. So, yun.
Okay, wait lang.
Sana ako online, pero gusto ko galing dyan para may
guys.
Yun, ito siya. Ito siya. Ayan. Ano ba to? A Millennials Practical Tips for all.
Okay. Yung mga dyan. Minette E. Javier. And
pwede ba dyan kami umorder para ikaw na
may fans, may sign. Oo.
So actually, sa siya, pinabenta ko siya sa bookstore. Ewan ko kung binibenta nila ng ayos. Ganun eh. No? Pero ganun. So, yan, nilagay ko lang lahat dyan ng mga, yung paano ko nag-survive. Parang ganun. Currently, but alam mo yun, lahat, yung current wisdom na meron ako noong 2017, I wrote this in 2017. Talagang ko siya dito. About money, ganun. And the kind of mindset that you should have. And ano yung mga dapat mong i-prepare pagka mag-aalis ka. So, nandito lahat. Yun. Nandito yung mga struggles ko din. Yun.
Maganda yung may personal touch mo talaga eh. Tapos
may personal touch talaga.
Ay, patok na patok sa yung libro eh, no?
Yeah, sana
Oo,
you can
totoo.
send us a copy para
Sure,
wala lang.
sige.
Parang wala yata siyang option for us to get it
To
here.
order online here. So, sige.
You can send me a message or ano ba, I'll send you a message kung paano kasi
Yes.
like sa Philippines lang siya nabebenta, parang ganun. Pero
Yun nga.
I'll try to make it out na as PDF, parang ganun, para makita rin siya sa Amazon.
Parang e-book. Parang
mas gusto
e-book.
ko yung
Or e-book.
Pero totoong kopya with your signature and
Diba?
Diba?
Malay mo.
Ayun, oo. Alam, actually, may ano pa ako dito. Kinulit ko pa si Bo Sanchez dito. Sabi ko, can you please write a short? Oo. Tapos after nag-announce siya na parang next time hindi na ako mag-aano ng mga author. Parang gano'n, nagkaroon ng announcement. Huli na ako, nakahabol lang ako. So yun yung mga bagay na madidiscover mo na hindi mo alam na kaya mo palang gawin. Parang, I don't think magagawa ko yun kung nasa Pinas ako. Yun.
So any shout-outs to your family, friends, and colleagues, both in the Philippines and around the world?
And your YouTube channel, daw.
Yes!
Ayun na lang. Basta shout-out, nag-hello na ako. Alam na yan ng family and friends, mga katrabaho. Hello sa lahat. Hello sa lahat na nanonood. And, collab.
Kulay pink na background.
Oo. May ilaw-ilaw pa yan eh. Oo. So yun, naisip ko, mahit na din ako sa mga makeup. Parang gano'n. Para feeling ko,
Yung
stress.
ko sa'yo, bagong laging I'm not a makeup person, pero kakanood ko kay John Fedeliaga, if you know him.
Sige, papanoorin ko rin siya.
Yung link mamaya, I promise. Malapit na akong bumili ng mga pangkulay-kulay sa mata.
Dinaig pa ako, hindi ako marunong nun.
Baka bukas blue na to, tapos pink.
Oo. Yan. So, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank
we'll
you.
catch up later for our finale. A get-together, of course, with
Online
everyone.
Chismisan Episode 1.
Yan. Meron tayo. Yun. So, Minette, thank you so much again for being with us on the South Real Talk live stream. I hope this is not the last and more collaborations with you sa mga
collab
mo, di ba?
Ganda pakinggan.
Endeavors, yes. Collaboration.
Iba na talaga. Iba ka na April, iba na kayo talaga.
Ito na kasi bago
level up.
Pinaka namin last but not the least, ito yung pinaka-special.
Oo. Siya yung isusunod natin, pinaka-huli. So, we want to shout out to Janine, Jandy, to my mom, Kuya Dennis, Wari, Trisha, Kuya Jojo, and the rest of my brothers here in New Zealand, Kuya Sam, and the family. And yours?
Shout out to my family, of course, in Quezon City. At ginagawa namin itong episode na to for our nurses and fellow medical frontliners, especially my sister, who is also a nurse, who is a COVID patient. So, yun nga, para sa inyong lahat to. And ito yung pinakamatindi nating guest sa lahat. Feeling ko kung kung bayani silang anim dyan, ito yung pinakabayani.
Ito ang sumalo ng lahat.
Intro mo muna siya. Yan.
Okay, this is one of my schoolmate in Mapua. She is a nursing graduate and also a registered nurse in
the Philippines.
Yes. So we welcome to the last guest that we have. This is Arns Alvarez. So with that, we had technical difficulties with Eileen De La Cruz earlier. So she was really she thought about messaging us early on na hindi na nga dahil si PLDT daw hindi na kasama. So eto na, we have our guest Arnie representing Philippines. Hello,
Hi, Titas of the South.
How are you? Hi.
Okay naman, medyo na-surprise. Na-surprise, pero thanks for the invite and guesting me here, yes.
No worries. Siyempre, ano ba?
Ito lang ang tanong ko kay Ernst
Ano?
Dun sa US, US, UK, Oman, tsaka Dubai, saan ka lilipat?
Ayan. Saan ka lilipat, Arn?
Hopefully sa malamig naman. To give you a bit of the background din. ex-OFW din ako from Saudi. So I know na-experience ko na yung kahirapan ng yung mga pagsusumikap ng OFW kung kumbaga we've been there. Hopefully sa malamig naman.
I think
Nakakatuwa kasi
Art, sa Riyadh ka, sa Riyadh.
Yes, sa Riyadh ako for 2 years, 2012 to 2014. So yun. Ranas ko na rin yung nung time natin, mga titas, kaway-kaway. Diba, nung time kasi natin, April, buti ito si Trish, medyo na iba yung path nag-IT, diba? Pero nung time kasi natin, way back 2000, sorry, ulit.
Oo. Muntik na
Ayun,
rin ako
maraming
mag-nurse.
nag-nursing. Talaga ba? Buti hindi. Not to discourage yung mga nagde-decide kung anong path yung kukunin. Pero nung time kasi namin, if you notice din yung sa trend ng mga naunang guest ng titas, more on either wala kasing naiisipan pa na kukunin. Tapos yung parents, more on, ito, nung time namin, mag-nursing ka, ganyan. Boom na boom yung time na yon. Right, April? Kaya nung time natin, doon nagbukas yung mga schools, even na engineering school, we're from engineering school, pero may doon, nag-nursing.
Ayun, yun na nga sabi namin, oo, hindi mo akalain na magkakaroon pala ng nursing sa Mapua. So, bahala na si Lord sa atin. At saka punong-puno yata nun. Grabe, ang dami talaga nag-nurse ngayon.
Sabi ko kung may baby boomers nung araw, meron din tayong nursing boomers nung batch nyo eh.
Oo. Ars, are you still there?
Oo, totoo yan. Yes.
Oo.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
So,
Ayun.
Ars,
Medyo technical sa Pilipinas, alam mo naman ang wifi namin dito.
Oh. So, Arns, where were you working before? Sa Taguig, diba? Tama ba?
Talaga, working history, charot. Nung time kasi namin, then we graduated way back 2008. Tapos, nung time na yun nga, sadly, kasi hindi ganun maraming nurses, nursing graduates, maraming na mga nakapasa, nag-take ng exam. Well, then, nung time na yun yung talamak ang, false volunteer pa na tipong ikaw yung magbabayad para to have the experience, ganun. Well, then, let's say, fact naman, on my opinion, here in the Philippines, merong exploitation with regards to the nursing field. Kahit, alam mo yun, sabi ko nga, parang history repeats itself. Kasi nung time talaga namin, nung pagka-graduate, akala mo makakapag-work ka na. Well, then hindi Kasi, actually, to be honest, nakaprint na siguro ako ng isang reel ng pang-resume, pero wala talaga, mahirap makahanap ng work back then. Kailangan may backer ka, o kaya naman talagang may kakilala ka for you to have a work. Hindi pa work kasi talagang volunteer pa ang item mo, hindi siya. And nung time na yon, if I'm not mistaken, dun din nag-start yung tawag, yung dapat nakaisip ang government na kailangan may 2 years experience ka muna bago ka makalabas ng bansa. So, yun yung one way of, parang mas pinush pa nila na maabuso ang mga nurses noon. Kasi, di ba, I mean, I'm just being real here. Ano yun? Walang sugarcoat. Pero yun kasi naranasan ko way back then. Oo, kaya marami sa field ng nurses na gladly kasi maraming options. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na nurse ka, magiging nurse ka na, alam mo yun, maraming iba-ibang field. Merong mga medical transcriptionist, merong mga BPOs, which we also have here in the Philippines na kailangan nila ng RN to process claims abroad, like US, UK, which nung time ko, yun yung nagkaroon ng opportunity for me. Gusto ko mag-nurse, gusto ko mag-practice in the hospital, but it's not that easy na makapasok ka or else magbayad ka. Ganun yun eh, to have the experience. Nung time namin, if I'm not mistaken, maraming nag-BPOs. Good kasi kung alam mo yun, you have good compensation, you have benefits, you have HMOs and everything. So maraming nawala sapat or alam mo yun, ibang bakod. So, yun. Then, nag-BPO ako for like 5 years. I enjoyed it and merong career growth din doon. Apparently, my parents, syempre, pinagpagura nila na mapag-aral ako. They wanted me to, alam mo yun, pursue my career. And, yun. So, from, alam mo yun, my gosh, I won't mention na, no? Pero kasi parang nung time ko, kasi parang, alam mo yun, I'm earning my own money. Good salary sa BPO. Tapos, biglang nagkaroon ng opportunity na mag-volunteer. So, imagine mo, may pera ka ng tunay. Tapos biglang, 150 a day ka. As kumbaga, volunteer, parang payment or like, tawag nun? Allowance. Oo. Pero chinaga ko yun, like 6 months. Kasi naawa ko sa sarili ko. Sabi ko, this is too much. I mean yun, it doesn't mean that you're... Hindi naman ibig sabihin na volunteer ka, hindi ka gagalaw doon. You will work as, alam mo yun, same as what the regular staff do. So, yun. Then eventually, naawa ko sa sarili ko. Sabi ko, might as well go out, 'di ba? Para at least you're earning na rin. Nagtatrabaho ka din naman, so 'di ba? Compensation tayo eh. Hindi naman masaya maging nurse kasi you're able to help people. Alam mo yun? Tsaka yun nga, naawa ko kasi parang 5 rides tapos for this amount of money. So sabi ko, hindi, alis ako. Then yun, nag-Saudi ako. Yun, okay naman ang experience. Then I go back here in the Philippines. After 2 years contract. Kasi medyo totoo yung sinabi ng guest niya po kanina from Oman. Merong difference with regards to culture sa Arabic countries. Medyo hindi siya kaparehas ng Philippines or like ng New Zealand, I think. Kasi doon medyo discreet. Hindi pwedeng kita-kita ang buhok mo, yung mga hindi pwede. Ano ka doon? Turtleneck long sleeve. Tapos sa Saudi kasi they do practice kasi sa iba open. Sa iba kasi open country sila. So well, din sa Saudi, kami, abaya, tarha, alam mo yun, costume talaga, na hindi ka pwedeng lalabas lang basta. Kasi, yung safety mo din yung iisipin. Anyway, ayun. Tapos then I go back in the Philippines. Ang path ko kasi hindi din naman ibig sabihin, tulad nung first na guest nyo, si Doktora. Well, then sometimes kasi depende din sa kapalaran mo kung saan ka napupunta. From your guest in the US din, ang niya is ER, diba, sabi niya. I do agree with what she said na hindi mo dapat nilalang lang. Like for example, from ward ka, to ganito ka. Kasi iba-ibang expertise yan eh. Tsaka minsan di mo ginusto na dun ka ma-assign. Pero ako kasi lapitin ako ER. So from volunteer, ER talaga ako. Tapos nung umuwi ako dito sa Pilipinas, ayun, ER din. Kawai sa medical center Taguig. Sa ER po ako na-assign.
So were there any eye-opener nung umuwi ka?
Kasi mako-compare mo from
yung technology pa lang in the first place ng Saudi compared sa Philippines. Were you parang nabigla ka ba ulit nung bumalik ka ng Pilipinas to work again?
Well, then, kasi ang laki ng difference with regards to opportunities and way of living. I think kaya naman marami mga Pilipino na, alam mo yun, striving, alam mo yun, eager talaga na makalabas. Most especially yung hindi pa nakaranas. I mean, ikaw, kayong dalawa, you've stayed long sa Singapore, right? And I know, meron kayong reason kaya kayo nagtagal doon. Well, then kasi pagdating sa opportunities, ibang-iba talaga pag nasa ibang bansa ka. Pero again, I think you will agree with this. There's nothing, alam mo yun, walang makaka-compare pag umuwi ka ng
Oo na.
Pilipinas. Mas masaya pa
Oo
rin naman talaga
totoo yun.
nasa Pinas.
Kahit gaano kahirap
Kung lang,
gano'n. Kahit
alam mo yun,
natin.
oo. Pero kasi
oo.
yung ano mo, yung pagdating kasi sa profession, siguro iba-ibang profession, no? Pero with regards to the nursing field itself, hindi ganun ka-promising pagdating sa nursing field ang Pilipinas. Medyo marami pang rooms for improvement.
Yes. And coming from Riyadh, in Saudi Arabia, what were the benefits you were getting? Kasi yung mga cousins ko who worked from there, talagang tax-free accommodation, the perks. So you're just going to work and free food. So dito sa New Zealand, hindi ganon. Saudi has been really giving in terms of their health workers. So is it the same at that time when you were there?
Yes, it was. It was. There's still no taxes on my time. Pero I think may tax na ngayon eh. Pero nung time ko talaga, kasi alam mo, makakaipon ka sa Saudi. Kasi ganito yon. Like Oman, di ba? They're paying for the accommodation. We call it flat. Doon kasi, yung hospitals or yung company, bibigyan ka ng accommodation. So one, hindi na yun problema mo sa gastos, di ba? Tapos the food itself, my gosh, mura. Tapos, kasi makukuha mo yung sahod mo naman for 1 month. Di ba dito, parang 2 cut-offs, di ba? So doon, makukuha mo siya isang beses sa isang buwan. So, ibig sabihin, mapaplan mo talaga ahead. This is my portion for the food. This is portion for, alam mo yun, kung magsisend ka ng money sa Philippines or what. So, yun. Okay siya as an experience sa Saudi. It's just that, baka merong mga parang hindi makapag-adjust or, alam mo yun, iba kasi yung, dapat na iset mo expectation pag pumunta ka sa Saudi compared to other Arab countries na open. Kasi doon close eh. So, hindi ka talaga makakalabas basta-basta. Hindi ka makakagala. Kung makakagala ka man, like once in a month, hindi siya yung parang dito na, okay, I will go out. Ganun, hindi.
Okay. During the pandemic, nasan ka? And were there any friends who were emotionally relying to you na Arns, buti hindi ka ngayon nag-stop ka muna for a while kasi natatakot kami for our lives. Walang mga reklamo nila sa iyo. May mga nag-share ba sa iyo?
Actually kasi yung previous work ko, well then head nurse ako ng ER doon. And meron akong contact sa mga staffs pa din and my colleagues. Well then actually my mother is thankful for me na hindi ako practicing nung kasagsagan ng pandemic. Pero syempre nakikibalita ako, how are they? Kung kamusta yung PPEs nila, yung supplies, kamusta yung workload, gano'n. Well then, this year has been a hard time for all of us. 2020, ibang-iba siya. For this pandemic, susubukin talaga yung katatagan mo. Ang problema kasi naman mainly dito sa Philippines is, overwork yung mga nurses natin. Hindi kasi sila dito kasi uso yung yung tipong 12 hours ka, 16 hours ka, more than 8 hours yung work mo.
Parang normal na yun, oo.
Tsaka kasi minsan hindi rin naman pera-pera eh. Minsan kasi maawa ka din sa mga katrabaho mo. Alam mo yun, yung kumbaga, lalo kung mahal mo yung mga katrabaho mo na tipong okay yung teamwork nyo, yung coordination nyo. With regards sa luckily dun sa previous na job ko, okay naman ang supply ng PPE sa kanila. Kung nakakatakot, yung isa kong friend, ang sabi niya, minsan mas maganda pa nga na sa hospital ka mag-work. Kasi, alam mo yun, full gear ka. may hazmat ka,
Okay.
may face shield ka. Kaysa naman yung tipong, 'di ba, nowadays kasi ECQ, kumbaga medyo nagno-normalize na lahat, yung iba pumapasok na. So hindi naman lahat ng mga companies nagpo-provide ng mga protective gears or
Oo,
equipment.
tama.
So
So, na-experience
yun.
ka.
Yun yung
Oo.
pero good thing din kasi may mga mas maraming work at home. So that's nice. With regards naman sa nakakatakot, oo, nakakatakot na bumalik. Actually, I'm planning to go back. Kaya medyo, alam mo, pinaplan
Oh,
ahead
where are
ko
you
na
going
kung
back?
where will I stay. Kasi syempre,
Oo.
nakakatakot yun sa sarili mo. Kasi kailangan mong malaman kung okay ka ba physically. Meron ka bang mga health issues na na at risk ka ba?
Oo.
Kasi kailangan maganda immune system mo. Ang panlaban naman sa COVID, immune system. Kung okay ang immune system mo, although you'll have it, kasi may mga stories din ako nalalaman, na nahawa sila. Katulad ng sa'yo, Trish, right? Yung sister mo. Kasi hindi imposibleng mahawa ka, araw-araw yun ang kaharap mo. Pero kasi, syempre, there are ways na for you to prevent it. Kaya medyo kailangan talaga hindi matigas ang ulo para hindi rin ma-spread. Tapos, yun nga, yung safety nga rin sa family, lalo kung kasama mo ng mga family members. Yun. So,
Just
depende kung how you handle it.
So I just want to share to the viewers, if you have any questions, you can start typing it now because we'll be opening the floor for any questions to any of our frontliners and they can answer it
Nandiyan pa
directly.
si Doc Marion.
Si
He's
Doc
still on the
Marion,
floor,
nandito
yeah.
cardiology, nandito si USRN, Erika Bautista. We have
Important
Samantha
yung mga
from
nurses
UK.
natin ngayon.
Oo, so
Samantalahin natin.
samantalahin nyo. Hindi ito na yung pagkakataon nyo para tanungin sila. Dahil lahat ng gusto nyo malaman all about that country, feel free to ask.
Yep. Have a couple of more minutes. Yep.
Yes. So, Arns, going back to you, what would be your advice to the nurses that are, or words of encouragement sa mga nurses ngayon sa Pilipinas, na nasa frontline sila ngayon ng COVID? Kasi we need to also impart our support. Hindi yung laging reklamo, ganito, walang PPE, hindi kami sinasweldohan. Alam mo, isa sa mga makakapag uplift sa'yo, yung magbibigay sa'yo ng support. Tsaka, words of encouragement na guys, konting tiyaga pa, konting tiis na lang. Kaya natin to, huwag kayong bibitiw, ganyan, ingatan nyo sarili nyo. What can you advise and give encouragement? Anong mga words of encouragement nyo sa kanila?
Words of encouragement, well then, first of all, I salute them na yung mga kabaro na nagsistay sa hospital, doctors, nurses, secretaries, sa admitting, sa mga, alam mo yun, up until hanggang sa mga cleaners. So, yun, kapit lang kasi hopefully one day, di ba, by the grace of God, matatapos din lahat ng ito. Mana-normalize din ang lahat. Well then, yes, mayroong mga negative. Kaso minsan, kasi iniisip ko din, kung lahat naman aalis, paano din yung mga, alam mo yung mga pasyente na loved ones, oo, na maiiwan, sino magte-take care of them. Pero syempre,
between profession din and your dreams and your current status of the country
kasi,
that you love.
Actually, to add on pala, April, actually, may dilemmas, shout out ko lang. Medyo may dilemmas ngayon ang nurses dito sa Philippines kasi parang history repeats itself. They do have a ban if na nabalitaan niyo yun. They're trying. Yes. Kasi luckily kasi nga medyo inurong nila. Dati May 8 if I'm not mistaken. Ngayon August 31 na. So mga may dreams na umalis. Oo. Parang medyo na-extend pa. So may possibilities na alam mo, mapaalis pa rin. So, kapit lang. Yung may mga dreams, katulad ko, we can fly pa rin, eventually. Pero, kumbaga, kung nasa field kayo, well then, thank you so much. Matatapos din to, kaya kapit lang. Yun.
Alright. Going to that you're saying you have dreams to fly out. Where is your next journey? What is your next journey? When is your next journey? Alam na agad.
Mag-PM tayo. Hopefully soon. Sa medyo malamig naman. Siyempre may pangarap tayo na, alam mo yun, for yourself and for your family. Kaya naman tayo nagtatrabaho, 'di ba? Pero meron din a piece of advice din kasi hindi naman lahat nasa isang alam mo yun, pare-parehas ng sitwasyon. Merong mga nurses or healthcare workers na alam mo yun, better for them to stay in the Philippines. Kasi sa totoo lang, masaya nandito lang. Kung kaya naman. Yun. Sana naman, hopefully, soon, basta soon, somewhere malamig. Yun ang pangarap natin puntahan. Tama din po yung sinabi kanina ng isa nating guest.
Somewhere malamig.
Kasi yun nga, tama yung sinabi ng isa nating friend. Kung may gusto kayong puntahan, exam nyo na lahat. Ha? Hindi banda dyan. Banda doon. Oo. Pero ayun po, kung kasi sayang, doon banda. So, hopefully, in God's grace, makaalis din po kagad. Yun nga po, kung wag lang po kayo matakot na mag-exam kasi with regards sa lalo kung may kakayanan kasi medyo may kamahalan din ang mga exams. So, hanggang may opportunity, mag-go. Tsaka kasi yun din eh. I mean, kung hanggang saan ang kaya mong isipin, kaya mo namang gawin. So, yun. Mag-exam lang kayo, push lang kayo, pray muna, tapos exam. Siyempre, prepare pala. Ayun.
Okay. With that, meron ka bang shout out sa family, friends, colleagues, and future colleagues?
Shout out, well, kay Ann, April, Laura, and my MCT family, and my family here in the Philippines, Mama, Papa, Elaine, Pogs, to all my friends. Yeah, thank you.
So,
and Titas of the South, congratulations nga pala. 2K, nice one. Good job.
We received a lot of good, positive feedback and
comments.
Yes, our
nakakataba ng puso.
Oo, nag-peak yung views natin ng 1,030 viewers. So, congratulations sa ating lahat. Dahil sa inyo, ayan, marami ang nabigyan ng pag-asa. Oo. Tsaka, we salute talaga all the frontliners.
You're all
nurses
heroes.
in particular, kahit hindi ka frontliner eh. Basta nurse ka or medical doctor, lahat ng nandyan sa medical field, healthcare, we salute you and we're proud of all of you. Yan. San man kayo sa mundo.
Eto na, yung pinakahintay natin.
Ito na!
First time
Go
sa
back!
channel ng Tita
Ayan.
of the South.
Oh my God. Ito na. I'm putting them back. Hello sa inyo. Ayan. Thank you for being with us today. Grabe yung mga feedback and words of na maganda yung theme natin today at yung flow. And thanks to all of you. Grabe, we really appreciate them. No?
Ayan na!
Ayan! So, I'm putting the floor to Alan and Erika. Cheers to that! Ayan, from the US. Hello, Alan! Nawala sila. Okay, moving to Doc Marion. Ayan, bumalik na. Okay, balik muna tayo. Hi, Alan. Kamusta? Hope everything's well.
Hi.
Nice. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Bagong gising.
Sobrang aga pa.
Nag-enjoy kami. Thank you, Erika, for being with us today and your lovely dog. Ayan, going to Marion. Cora, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
Ayan, dahil sa iyo, marami tayong nalaman. Sobrang yung mga layman's term mo kung paano mo in-explain yung tungkol sa maraming kwarto yung puso. Yung talaga na-imagine. Nabigyan ako ng linaw.
Sana hindi kayo naguluhan. Kasi naguluhan yung viewers.
Oo, lalo ko siyang naintindihan. And more power to you. And I believe you're doing your next training.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, where will you be in the next few months? You're taking your board exam?
Yeah, I'm preparing for my cardiology board exam right now. Hopefully, it will be done in November. Sana, kasi ilang beses na na-move, no? So, sana this time matuloy na siya. And then, after that, I plan to do another training for specialization again in peripheral vascular medicine. So, yun. After that, I hopefully I'll be done for good na.
Wow. Keep on learning and hiring up. Thank you. And now it's Sam's turn. Hi, Sam. Thank you again for being with Titas of the South. Alam ko maraming klase na nanonood ngayon. Yung group nyo nila Aline, ni Bea, ni Erika, Joey.
Oo. Thank you then. Thank you for having us.
And I hope tuloy-tuloy na yung continuous rehabilitation and recovery. We're hoping for the best. And let us know if you need anything, nandito lang kami. Hindi man tayo nasa isang barkada, at least in one mula sa community, di ba? Ayun.
Yeah. Oo. Thank you so much.
Ayan. Going to Minette from Dubai.
Cute.
Thank you so much, Minette. And
Thank you.
we're here to support you kung ano man yung endeavors mo in terms of writing. Be an author in your
We're excited to have a copy.
Oh, we're excited to have a copy.
Sige. Sure.
Alam mo na, padalan mo na kami niyan with your fan sign. Ayun. And last,
Signature talaga. Sure.
any last words?
Wala naman. Thank you lang ulit and congrats and more power. Alam ko marami susundan pa to. So, yun.
With you.
Good luck. Sige, pwede rin. Pwede rin.
So we're going back to Arnie in the Philippines. Hi, Arns. Thank you again. I think naka-mute yung ano mo, yung mic mo. Ayan. Naka-mute ka. Ayan. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time with us. And we support you anywhere you are. Alam mo yan.
Hi, friend. Thank you.
Yun. Nawala ka ulit.
Ayan.
Okay na. Arns, nawala ka. Okay.
Balikan natin si
Balikan natin. So, we'll put in everyone again just to say goodbye.
Hi. God bless for both of you.
Ayun. Thank you so much for joining
Thank you so
South.
much.
So we tried looking for everyone's questions. So wala yata na ano na sila, full info na sila. So just gusto ko kayong makita lahat, guys. So ayan, kailangan nating lahat nandiyan kayo. Ito ata yung pinakamaganda. Ayan. So lahat ng mga nanonood, thankful sa mga info na binigay ninyo. And again, walang sawang pasasalamat. With now, anything you wanna say, talk about, chismisan, bigay nyo na. Bitaw nyo na dyan.
Ay, nag-red wine na sila.
Grabe, nagiinuman na sila, oh.
Hindi, kape yung kanya. Ako lang.
Good morning.
So, giving messages to our guests, shout out again to Alison, who is my pamangkin, our families in Cavite and Quezon City. We would like to thank all the viewers today. Until now, we still have 120 viewers strong from the 1,000 earlier. So, sana mapaganda pa namin yung mga content. We're really into quality content at saka information. Lahat ng trending, facts, advice, tips, no? Yun. So, thank you so much. Everybody wave as we say goodbye and bid farewell.
For
Thank
tonight.
you.
Just
For tonight.
Si Doc Marion, feeling ko may part 2 eh. Explain yung cardio, tapos may exercise pa siyang training.
Yun.
Wait
Alright,
lang. Wait, meron akong... Yeah. Hello, may nalimutan ako. So I just want to give credit to Rick Olivares. Siya yung nagsulat ng article.
From the ABS-CBN.
To that story. Yeah, and then my Macadamid family, JR, Angge, Franny, Pearl, Iris, hindi kita malilimutan. And then, Anne, we were talking about ano yun yung mga advanced practice nurse. Si Anne, if you live in Illinois, she's another kulasa. Batch din namin. She studied nurse practitioner sa Georgetown.
Oh,
And she's practicing in Illinois. So if you're ever there, look out for her. I think she goes by her married name, Anne Wan. She was Anne Karandang before she got married. And then Arman High, St. Luke's, charge nurse. Stay strong.
Oh, good.
And then happy
Yes.
anniversary, Noel and Patty.
Ah, yeah. Oh, yes,
Rico
Noel and
Ibanez
Pat.
was my best friend. Actually, he's my best friend.
Ah.
So, hi, Rico.
Okay, so going back. Okay, let's have our last okay, ito na yung ito na talaga, bid farewell. So, bye guys. Thank you for watching Titas of the South.
Thanks for your support.
Yes.
Oh.
Kakite. Kakite
Kakite
means to see you again in Maori language. So, thank you. Kia ora. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.